Welcome to the next episode of the Ghost Company live stream. I'm here with Mutai. Salakin jumped in. Can you actually talk right now, Salakin? He said he might just listen in for a little bit, so.
Okay.
Anyway, well, for the moment, let's keep talking about, well, we wanted to get out there once again about the Newt Akalambi craze that's sweeping the nation. And I'm not really prepared to show any information about that necessarily, other than going into my phone. We'll have them set as favorites. Yeah. So the couple things we just talked about basically were how the unique on, well, yeah, there's basically going to be 4 Omegas. If anybody is hearing this and hasn't already done it, you basically will really need 4 Omegas between these 3 characters to make them as viable as they could be, especially at lower gear levels and whatnot. So it's Acolyte's basic, adds stealth chance. Like when she uses her basic, that's when she gets her stealth. So increases that chance, and that's very important. It also makes her attack a second time while she's stealth, which is also awesome. Her unique, which is a little bit more critical chance, which is going to be important, and she also gets plus 50% offense while she's stealth, which will be all the time. So Newt, you can level him up, and of course I failed to mention some of the early information about this team, that they all have to be at least 6,000 power in order to be able to bring them into a territory war, so that's worth mentioning. But Newt's leadership is worth Omegaing if you can, just because it gets the turn meter gain, and I guess critical chance, but especially the Omega, the turn meter gain all the way up to 50% turn meter the first time they score a critical hit, which is going to be what Acolyte does every single turn. So each shot, well, first shot gets her another 50% turn meter. And then Zombie's unique, also the Omega basically makes it so that she's an auto taunter at the beginning, which is also important so that nobody else gets shot at the very beginning. They can get into stealth and get things rolling. So we were just talking about mods, and Mutai was trying to flip a couple things around, and seems like, did you end up going with a crit damage set, or what did you land on?
I went with 2 crit damage sets with
okay.
and then got her critical chance up to what, 32%, I think.
Yeah. So the point was, I mean, I could even re-look at what I've got set up, because we were talking about it and basically came to the realization that between Newt's leadership, while she's stealthed, he gives her 50% critical chance. She has her unique, gives her another 25% critical chance if you've got it Omega. So that's 75% critical chance regardless of her natural stat. So anything beyond 25% in her natural stat is pretty much probably overkill, I would imagine. So I had put a critical chance primary on her triangle, just because I wasn't thinking about all those mechanics and how, I mean, and then maybe initially when I modded her, it was for a Night Sister team, not necessarily for Newt Akalambi, and I can't do it anyway, at least in Territory Wars, because I set up, that stuff on defense. But so you could put a critical damage primary on her triangle, which you said you just did, Mutai.
Yes. Yeah. 36.
Awesome.
I'm anxious to start another war now, so I can see the damage done.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I don't know if you have the capacity to take a look at the live stream at the moment.
Oh, I do, yeah.
I've got a video set up that I recorded last night. And I basically had another Phoenix squad sitting there in my Galactic War. It was only like node 6, so they were maybe G8s and G9s or something. I was like, well, it's still Phoenix. They got the same mechanics. They're all going to have like purple protection over top of their normal protection like right away. So worth testing and playing around. I'm sitting there trying to think about what I could do with especially I've just now gotten Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper to maybe gear 8-ish, gear 9 at the most or something. So I'm thinking, like, what the heck can I do with them? I've already got, a Sith squad, an Empire squad, using up most of the tunes that they would go with, on other teams, especially for territory wars. So, like, what can I do with these two characters? So I started playing around with seeing if I could do anything against a Phoenix squad with something, involving them. And I'm thinking, like, well, I can't do the Newt Akalambi, but could I do a Newt lead and, like, Geonosian Spy and Sith Assassin has stealth mechanics, and so I started out playing around with like those 4: Newt, Geonosian Spy, Sith Assassin, and Sith Trooper, and just put in a B2 and just was trying different things to see what I could come up with tunes that I either have not been using at all in Territory Wars, or that I kind of, B2 I'll just save, and if there's something, that seems like it would help, I'll just throw them on or whatever. And I had a little bit of success, but I thought, well, maybe if what could I do that would be like a 3-man squad or a 4-man squad like Newt Akalambi? So I'm looking at my Sith, and I started just subbing in and out, and I absolutely love when you can do something like this in any mode of the game anymore, like Galactic War. Actually use it for something instead of just mindlessly run through it just to get the rewards. Same thing with the current Palpatine Mythic event. I haven't finished the second time through because I'm just taking in different squads just to test things against actual difficult enemies, because it's the only place you can other than arena, So
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, what I came up with was eventually, and this is specifically because of the tunes that I have or don't have that make up quintessential squads and whatnot. I ended up trying Maul with Sith Assassin and Savage. After many different little iterations and trying different tunes, it seemed like this particular squad. Of course, I have a G12 Maul and a G10 Savage, no Zetas at all. And then Sith Assassin's only G9 right now, so I'm thinking if anybody's got Maul halfway fleshed out up there, G9, G10, same with Savage, they're working on Sith Assassin, and they're in a situation like me where they don't have a Zeta Maul, and they're not running that kind of squad. I'd have to look to see if I can really replace. Basically, I had Maul and Savage on an EP-led Sith team for Territory War offense. But I had to play around, see if I could come up with some kind of replacement. You could put an Empire tune or two in there, possibly, to still work well under EP, But anyway, so, long story short, let me throw this video on real quick. And that's not it. Here it comes. So basically, with only these 3 Sith Assassin doing her first special, which gives them all turn meter, and gets her into stealth, gets Maul going faster to put out a daze immediately, and it kind of took some, just back and forth, taking them down, they go back up, taking them down, go back up. But what I was mainly thinking with Maul was that there's 2 Jedi on this squad. If you do find a squad that doesn't have Sabine, then he's got that, like, whatever it is, like double damage against Jedis or whatever. And it seemed like I could work it out to the point where I got the opportunity finally to hit Kanan with his basic, take him out, and then get him 100% turn meter and, start stacking up his damage, then immediately go for Ezra the next chance I got. Use him to stack him up even more. And then it was just enough after that, to just take care of the rest of them. So it could be very specific, whether people have the, these tunes free because of the way they've built their Sith teams or their whatever teams, but I figured I'd throw it out there if it was something where, like, hey, I've got those 3 characters not very fleshed out, that if I could use another 3-man squad to take out a Phoenix team, could be worthwhile.
Yeah. In fact, I do have those 3 guys, and I don't even use them. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, test it
Yeah.
out. I so wished it was like one of like I had 2 Galactic Wars built up. I had the one I was in with this Phoenix squad sitting there, and I had it there. Like I just kept playing around with it and doing different things for like almost 24 hours, and then so I finally had to finish it. And then I was like, all right, I will start through the next one and see if I can luck into like a more difficult Phoenix squad, and no such luck, of course. Um, But yeah, just keep your eyes open. If you see a Phoenix squad, it's very worth, and especially if you're thinking about testing, it's worth playing through your Galactic War with something that you definitely don't need to test, obviously. And then, if you come across something like a Phoenix squad or something that you'd really like to test something new against, and just put on the brakes when you get there. And test, and keep retreating. And man, I had a lot of fun playing around, just trying all these different squads. I was completely unfamiliar with Sith Assassin. I hadn't used her at all, and I got such a great education on how to use her moves, just sitting there over and over and over and over, trying different tunes along with her, seeing who it really really benefits from her turn meter gain stuff, and pretty fun. So yeah, if you see a Phoenix
That's
squad,
awesome. Yeah.
give it a whirl.
Well, now you made me want to go out and play.
So let's see. What do you think about the new raid? I had this image, the image that they put on the forum for the new Sith raid, ready to go if we started to talk about it. And I'm really curious about a few things when it comes to a new raid to begin with. Like, the time crunch. How the hell are we gonna fit another raid in with all this stuff,
Man, it's weird because like today I was thinking, well, it's Sunday and there's nothing to play.
Yeah.
Why don't they do this stuff on the weekends?
I have no idea. I kind of thought that it was going to have something to do with them dropping marquee events or, some reason eventually. But no, it just seems like they must think like people need a break. It should be on the weekend instead of some of the work week where they can't do this stuff because they're at work,
Which is why I've thought a lot of people I know they get busy. Why don't they just put teams on defense?
Yeah, for
If they
territory
know,
wars. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never understood that because if you don't think you're going to have a chance, just go ahead and do it because who cares?
Yeah. Well, the worst to me is the attack phase. I was just talking to Sherm and saying that I wish they would eventually change it to be like a 12-hour preview phase, a 12-hour defense setting phase, and a 48-hour attacking phase. Because you know how it so comes down to your guild's availability, big windows of availability. And if we got 2 passes at the windows of availability through all the different, vertical slices, that we have to get through, it just seems like somebody could go to bed and miss like a big section of what they might have had viable tunes to use against,
Because the first early ones we went through the first phase, the first area pretty quickly. So that opened up things for other people to do. But if we don't have the people available to get to those first 2, you saw it the last time.
Right.
Luckily, I was off work Friday and I got to finish up and help attack. Otherwise, if I was at work, there's no way I could participate. Except, sneak it into the bathroom for a break real quick or something. But
yeah. So, anyway,
I wonder if other people have complained about that on the forums. I don't really go out there and look. But
I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was this new possible raid. So, the next thing is that it is probably going to bring a level cap increase, which I know people have already been talking about. But that makes it so that possibly everyone should save every scrap of credits they possibly can from here to whenever this thing comes out, because, oh boy, all of a sudden you gotta worry about your arena team staying viable and being able to instantly take them all to level 90. And then I don't know. I mean, if they're not going to release a new raid and not have it be difficult and pushing the boundaries of our rosters and whatnot, wouldn't you think?
Yes. This is gonna be. I mean, I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend more credits.
No, man, no. I think I have 48 million at the moment, and it's like I know I don't have anywhere near enough. Once this drops to really do everything you're going to need to do, especially considering this new raid, that's nothing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I just got mine up to 33, thinking that'll be a nice cushion for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it up to 75 at one time, and it goes quickly.
It sure do.
And it's going to be real expensive if you go to gear 90. I mean, it was expensive to get to 85.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that they would do some retroactive style, when they did the cap increase to 85, wasn't it actually less expensive to go up 5 levels than it was in the previous, or at least it was nowhere near the exponential difference from the last gap,
Yeah,
I thought
close to the same, if not.
Yeah.
It was or less, yeah.
Yeah, it was something reasonable. At least I'm hoping they'll do that. And they're not going to make it like, guess what? 10 million per character.
Yes. Or they could, throw out some more credit heists, for a while.
Yeah, or increase the rewards, put in another level, another tier that only level 90 can, you have to get your scoundrels to level 90 to be able to access it and get it simmable, but then you can get, 5 to 10 million, or because this is going to get crazy, man.
Might be time to find a new thing to do. No, just kidding. I'm too addicted. This is like a drug.
Yeah, well, seriously, I mean, of course, thinking about a new Sith raid, new characters, new awesome content to theory craft and work towards, and a challenge, it's all sounds amazing and so much fun, but I'm terrified of it from a guild leadership standpoint and trying to organize, and oh boy.
Maybe they won't do it. Well, was it last year they did 85?
It was when the hat came out. So that would have been October of 17, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I can't believe it's been that long.
Or is it?
It was October. It was just 5 months ago?
No, it has to be October of 16. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got to be like a year and a half ago. Yeah. I guess they could. I hate to see it happen, but I guess they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to even more so trivialize the pit and the hat. If all of a sudden, all the tunes you were using, you get them up 5 more levels, they're going to be doing that much better, hitting that much harder. So there's also the possibility with a level cap increase, I've heard this mentioned as well, the possibility of adding the next 3 pieces of gear 12 gear. And
I can see that happening for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it could be part of the reasoning for them putting the current gear 12 pieces in shipments now and making them easier to get. They could they could even add 2 more pieces. Have they, because we didn't experience this specifically before, did we, where they gave us 3 pieces? Hasn't it been like there's 1 missing or there's 2 missing in the past?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's possible they may just add a piece or a few pieces.
Oh man, I guess they got this all planned out.
Yeah,
that's what they do, right?
Yes, sir. And if you can reverse engineer it all goes back to profits. So keep that in mind as far as any trying to figure out what the hell they're thinking.
Well, they need to make some money because I can't imagine what it costs to run all these servers with. I don't know how many millions of players are on it.
I doubt that that's the bulk of their cost. It's probably employee and especially executive, pay and bonuses.
I'm sure it's system developers for sure. Yeah. Software developers. Yeah. That's what makes all the money in my job.
Yeah. So would you see them breaking form with the way raids have been in the past for any reason, of any details as far as either A, being based on raid tickets and opening whenever you want, or B, the type of tunes that you can use or need, or you think that it'll just be another raid, same thing, use your whole roster, figure out the best teams and blah blah blah, or do you think there's any chance of them changing things slightly and making this not be exactly the same as the other ones?
This might be totally different. I never thought about that, because if it's going to be a Sith raid, it could be you could only use. I mean, are we going to have Sith characters go in against other people?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. If I played the second Knights of the Old, Republic game, it was so long ago that I can't really remember it. I thought I did, but Darth Nihilus was not terribly familiar to me when he came into this game, so I'm thinking maybe I didn't ever end up playing it. So I'm very unfamiliar with these, especially the other characters, and what the deal would have been, if there was any amount of Sith versus Sith, just because of the way Sith are and trying to, gain power and eliminate masters and blah blah blah, or if it would be Jedi specifically against them. We don't have, I don't believe, any Jedi that are actually from this far back, probably, do we?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm more of a movie guy than I am these. This is the Old Republic time frame and allows players to take on the Sith of Darth Nihilus, Darth Sion, and Darth Traya.
Yeah.
So we'll be having like Rebel and Jedi's taking them on?
I guess so. I mean, you have, Rebels and Jedi's in the Clone Wars era taking on an AAT tank, so why not,
Oh, maybe the clone guys will come back and they'll rework them a little bit.
Yeah.
That'll make TK very happy, because he's heavily invested in his clones.
Yeah, I would imagine that the next few sets of reworks have got to be Darkside. They've got to do something with bounty hunters for Darkside territory battles. They really should do something with some more Sith.
Well, especially considering that they got this new, the dark side, you have to use them all now, and they're required you to use bounty hunters. They need to rework them.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've just recently feel silly, like leading up to finding out about this new raid and the fact that, it really probably has been worth for the last week or two or more saving absolutely every resource until we find out, what all is actually coming, including this raid. But I had just done a little work on my bounty hunters, actually, to get Greedo up a little further and part of the team, especially for territory war. I also have been testing bounty hunters can also do really well against Phoenix. I don't know if people had already been doing that or whatever, but I put my IG-88 on a droid team on defense, so the rest of the bounty hunters without IG-88 can definitely do pretty well against Phoenix squad, Phoenix squad. So now I feel silly though, having done that, and I use like some stun cuffs and a stun gun and a couple Carbantes on these stupid bounty hunters, knowing full well they're gonna do a bounty hunter rework, and like 4 of these are gonna be like garbage and completely unusable.
Or maybe they'll be even more valuable.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
But I figured at least for now, and even beyond what will be the best thing for Darkside territory battles, at least for now and for a while, there'll be a good Phoenix killing squad,
Which we need, because it seems like there's more and more of those nowadays.
Indeed.
I mean, we saw them they almost had them in every territory, except for that top one, the first top one. It seemed like they were sprinkled in every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they definitely pretty much said, like, Phoenix are defense. Everyone's Phoenix squads go on defense, no matter where they are, somewhere we'll put them, It definitely...
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But have you thought any more about moving... I saw there was some talk on the Discord about moving the Phoenix or the First Order back.
Yeah, I just put the territory war map up on the live stream, and yeah, I definitely wanted to talk about that because things are going to get shaken up, I'm sure, with the whole EP invader now I don't know. I don't know what's actually going to happen, because to put together a squad that can really reliably take out CLS may break up more either defensive or offensive squads than you'd really want. You know, it almost seems like you'd have to do. I don't know if Kenobi would be absolutely necessary, but what people are mainly running that's like arena viable at this point is EP, Vader, Thrawn, Kenobi, and Nihilus, I believe. So there are other squads. I didn't try that specifically, and I was able to beat that one, the other night when I was foolishly putting those Zetas on EP and Vader. I feel the worst about Vaders. I've heard so many game changers and podcasters say that one in particular is completely unnecessary. Oh boy.
Well, we kind of thought about that when you were doing it. It's like, doesn't really gonna make that much difference. But
yeah.
Have you noticed a difference in your ship though?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like I said earlier, I haven't been paying as much attention to ships for the last handful of days or week or so, yeah. I'm not positive, but it seems like what was mentioned was possibly moving our first order further back somehow, just so that they are a little more viable. But to move them along the south, I just don't see swapping them with the Zeta Qui-Gon Jedi or droids for sure. Droids need to be all the way at the back or they're useless, probably.
Yes.
So
what about moving up the nasties?
Yeah, that was mentioned, and I don't know if I like that for sure. The only thing I wonder about is putting something that early in that is a total mix, just creates a lot more possibilities for different people with different stuff available to work on, beating our teams, compared to when you have a full, set of something. It's like you gotta have whatever is good against this or you're not attacking right now, I don't know which would be more important, just having tough squads but a variety, or having something more homogenized but easier, possibly, I think...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I think that the more crews we were to add, especially if people are really getting into him and zetaing his leadership as well, that would make them more viable staying where they are, but otherwise...
Yeah, I was thinking about putting my next Zeta on just old Kylo.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I want to use this. I've got his ship. I'm only 4 shards away from getting his ship to 7 stars, so...
Ooh.
Yeah, so he might be worthwhile having both those guys together on a first order team.
Yeah, do you have unmasked Zeta in any way? Did you say that you did that?
I did the leader on him.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that could be recommendable then.
Yeah, because I got he wiped out one ship on one shot. It was 140k damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he can do some powerful damage. That TIE silencer, before I had him Zeta, was just okay, but now he's a beast. But he's kind of squishy. If Biggs' ship doesn't start taunting right away, he can get killed pretty quickly if the other team's faster. So
yep. I don't know.
Which is why I've been working on my Imperial, my TIE fighter to get him a little faster. So maybe he'll go first.
Yeah.
Get things going.
Yeah. I mentioned in Discord that I realized too late in that last territory war that the rework stuff beyond the Zetas, actually applied during the attack phase. So I didn't get to try and do anything with them to fight a CLS squad. But I used a Sith team, like a not the usual Sith, like Palpatine lead with Sidious, Dooku, Maul, and Savage. And then in Vader squad, I already had his leadership zated, with, and this is, a lot of people aren't going to have these particular tunes, but him, Tarkin, Krennic, Stormtrooper, and wasn't Death Trooper, because he's on the Trooper squad, and someone else. Each of them were able to take out a GK Barris squad in that second territory back of theirs,
Oh, wow.
So that's another consideration, is that even if they, it might be a difference, but based on what tunes people already have and are using on what squads or what it would break up, whether it's worth trying to put together one squad with EP and Vader that could take out a CLS squad, or keep them possibly separated into two that could take out GK Zera squads. Because there's always, at least a few Jedi, so they're getting some of those, bonuses that now work for Rebels and we're all excited about, but always worked against Jedi, and I never really thought about it before. I mean, their moves are better now, obviously, after these reworks, but... So, yeah, I'm not sure.
But only against certain people, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
They're only stronger against the Rebels, yeah. Would they be strong all the time?
Yeah, you'd sure think so. I mean, maybe it's that they have this extra hate for the Rebels and the Rebellion and whatnot that feeds into their power. I don't know, but...
Oh. It's the dark side of the Force is stronger against Jedi and Rebels, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
You'd think Jedi for sure. Rebels is a stretch, but... So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking, other than if we decide to maybe try something with the First Order, trying the exact same defensive setup, knowing that anyone that already had, which is almost everybody, I set up a squad template on .gg that just has Vader and EP, just so I could see how many people have them to what star levels and gear levels and whatnot. Everybody has them, 7-starred, and most people have them G11 or higher. A few G10, a few, and then, 3 or 4 that haven't done as much, G8, G19, or whatever. So, we could just set up the same defense primarily, and then see what happens, what other guilds try to do. If anybody else tries to set up those new Empire Sith super teams or whatever as defense, and then how it works is based on what we have left. Or if they don't, then possibly being able to use ours on offense to more easily handle their CLSs or GK Zerises or whatever, and just find out, rather than trying to do something different, like, okay, all of a sudden everybody, let's not set up CLSs and let's set up a bunch of Vader and EP teams and keep our CLSs. I don't know if that would be advisable. I think it seems like it'd be better and easier to analyze how it's going to change if we experience it with the same defense again.
I do. I think we should keep the same. I mean, that's a good baseline, is to keep everything the same.
Yeah.
And we could try different things on offense.
Right.
Yeah. Because you could try that Palpatine Vader team against CLSs, right? And see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost...
Because that's where we always have the worst time, is getting past that. It's always with 1A, right? That's where everybody puts their CLSs.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen it so much because we've gone against weaker guilds that weren't as organized or whatever, but we have seen it here and there.
Yeah, and I also think we got lucky because sometimes we only had like 44 guys, so we were below the 100 million.
Right.
I don't think we're going to see that anymore.
Oh no, that helped us big time.
Yeah.
I think that this being the first time probably we went in with over 100 million is the reason it was the hardest one we've ever had to do.
Yeah. Most definitely. I really, man, your team, that Phoenix team, I watched them go against 5 or 6 teams.
Yeah. It's entirely situational. You know what I mean? It was that late in it, and
sure.
how many people are left, what they actually have to try. We could have been seeing them throwing like Luminara leads with the Jedi Consular and a,
Well, exactly. I don't think there was anybody great throwing against them, but
yeah,
it's nice to see, because your Hera is Zeta, right?
No, not Hera actually.
I meant Sabine.
Oh yeah. I'm sure
because she's got that AOE, man, that just it decimates another team.
Yeah, I'm sure that was half of their frustration for sure. So there's also the new change with the defensive wins. I'm assuming you have heard about and whatnot and thought about.
I did, yeah.
So I didn't.
Are you gonna bring that up on the live stream so people can see it?
That's Are you talking about like just their page on .gg or on the forum?
On the EA page, yeah.
I don't have it set up to just quickly and easily bring that up just to look at the text, but I'd have to remind myself what exactly it said, because I didn't catch. Okay, wait a minute. I do actually have it.
I have it right here too.
Go ahead.
If you bring it up, or people can read it, it'd be easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the changes are going to be successful defenses. So for those of you wondering how well your defensive squads fared against your opponents, we will now be displaying the number of defenses that each squad has had to help inform your future Territory Wars experiences. Which is a great idea, because you know if your team's done really well or it just gets wiped out on the first go.
Absolutely, it's amazing. Yeah. And I saw it like when they first released it and then hadn't seen it again or thought about exactly how they worded it. That's good to know that they say you will be able to see, because me and Sherm were talking and I was like, how are they going to show that? I mean, I can't see them making like a leaderboard page where they've got like Boba Fett's Night Sister team did this, and you know, Jan's Kylo Ren unmasked First Order team, you know. So I'm guessing they'll add a number onto the little plaque, the little card that shows, you know, when you go in to set defense and you put your team in and then you go back in to look at the teams. I'm assuming they'll put the numbers on those cards, those little plaques.
I guess so, yeah.
And then if they do that, they're going to have to also change the way it works as far as soon as a territory is defeated, you can't enter the area to look at the squads anymore. So I would hope that, and I'd have to check it actually while the whatever the phase after the fact is called, you know, the review phase. I'd have to check it in there, but I wouldn't have thought that those reappear for that either. You kind of go in and just see the map however it was left, so they'd have to change that so that you could go in even if a territory was completed to look at your squads and see those numbers and whatnot.
That'd be my guess, is they're going to show those again with the number next to the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that's really going to affect us, or tiebreakers, because whoever's got the fewest losses will win.
Yeah.
So... And then the increasing the defensive squads for top guilds, that won't affect us.
No.
I think that's like 160, right? 150, 160.
Assuming that that's what they mean by top tier when they mention that. I heard that brought up on a podcast too, saying, what are they considering top tier? Is it just literally the top tier? Are they considering 100 million plus all top tier, 120 plus all top tier? You know, hard to say. I hope it's just that top tier where the top guilds are having problems with ties, you know.
I don't understand their wording here. It says, as top guilds have so many squads, the average of 4 defensive squads per players isn't allowing them to fully demonstrate the strength of their rosters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'd have to put in more than 4. I mean, everybody have to put in 5, right? It's just the average is 5 defensive squads per person.
Yeah, they may not be...
To fill it up, yeah.
They may not be thinking ships specifically when they say 4, I guess. Or...
True, yeah. That's okay, I got you, yeah. So they're going to increase the number of defensive squads required per person at the top tier of play. So I'm going to guess that's the very top.
I hope.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can't imagine we'll be included in that.
No.
I wouldn't consider us a top tier guild at all, so...
No, but it will, I mean, I don't know. You're going to see if what they do, that's where I was originally going when I said I can't remember the wording and how they're going to do the actual, it sounds like I heard somebody mention again on another podcast about how they took from the wording, I thought they read it at the time, that it was going to be basically decreasing value of banners you get for a win based on how many attacks it takes to get that win. So if you beat it on the first try, you get 10 banners. It takes you 2 tries, you get 9 banners or something like that, you know.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to basically make it affect everyone immediately. If it's, because initially I was thinking in my head, like, okay, so they're going to keep track of these defensive wins behind the scenes and use it in the event of a tie. But no, it's going to just come into play like the whole time, no matter what the situation. Now it's going to be much more important that you take out a team in one shot or in two shots or whatever. And who knows? What if they make it so that it's like you get 10 banners for a win in one go and 5 banners for a win in 2 goes and 3 for 3, who knows what they think people are actually doing to get through these squads. I know that again on another podcast, and this is even a top tier guy like good old Maurice, who does a few different live streams and podcasts and whatnot and is a whaley kind of guy, talking about how in his guild he'll use 3 or 4 squads each to take out 2 or 3 CLS squads every territory war. And that's going to basically make it so he can't do what he normally does anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
See, the way I'm reading this is successful defensive system. We are now introducing extra banners for beating a defensive squad for the first time. So I'm wondering if it's still going to say 10 is a win, but if you beat them for the first time, maybe you get 5 extra or 2 extra banners, something like that. If you beat the first time.
Now that would be different. If you get an extra amount for one, and then anything else is a static number that's less. That's more reasonable and wouldn't completely like. It just seems like that would really tear things down if all of a sudden like half of your wins were only getting you 4 banners or 6 banners or whatever,
That would make more sense to me, is that you get extra for the beating it the first time. Otherwise, it still stays the same.
Yeah, that'd be cool if that's what they do.
Yeah, I guess they're going to introduce this the next time we have one. Is that right? Do you know when these are coming out?
No. I guess
it just says near term future. That's all it says. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything about exactly when, but.
And they also say Wicket, Talzin, Zombie, and Spirit will be available through farming locations.
Yeah, so be interesting to see where they actually go.
More work.
Yeah.
Work.
Yes, sir. Oh boy.
Going back to your live stream. You haven't changed much.
What's that?
Oh, I went back to your live stream. Yeah.
Oh, I just changed back to my phone actually.
Oh, okay.
I had our territory war defensive map up there for probably way too long.
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I go back and forth between that and the game, so I got 2 hours before my squad arena is done, but I'm in 15. It'll only take me about 30 minutes to move up.
Oh man, I just happened to check the clock to see that it's 2:59.
It's about that time.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what we're going to be doing for the next 20 minutes. Piggy time.
Gotta make an announcement in Discord and I will have done my duties.
It's like Salakin's taken off.
Yeah, I was just reading that a minute ago.
That was 5 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird to watch this on 1X.
Oh, I guess I hadn't even posted a 0 in this one, so I will at least show on the live stream going in and posting a 0 with my mob enforcer.
I use my Jedi Guardian. She's
Nice.
good for dying quick. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did post. Because my mob enforcer's dead.
I forgot the other day, and I had like, I don't know, less than a minute left to post a 0 real quick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I always try to do it whenever it pops up, because otherwise it's easy to forget.
Yeah, I usually do it immediately. I knew I didn't this time because I was in the middle of something and just barely caught opening it at all.
Well, since we've been talking about territory wars, do you think would be any use in like requiring at least three different squads per person?
For defense?
Yeah. Maybe 3 different squads and then 1 ship, something like that.
Well, I mean, we can obviously do 1 fleet for sure.
Sure.
The rest of it, it's going to come down to, do those people have the squads that we're asking for? You know what I mean?
Well, I guess we should require that if you have over 2 million GP. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I understand some of the guys who just barely like at 1 million or under, or over 1 million, that it'd be no fun for them to put out 3 squads and not have anything left at all.
Right. It's
and
a
I
tough
don't mind
one.
putting out 8 squads. It's tough putting out 9 and 10 sometimes, but
I don't think you ever should. I mean, we can always lower requirements and say, hey, in the back, just put in anything, especially if things continue the way they have. Everything that gets put in, like, at least 2 territories is untouched, unused. So...
Yeah, no one's touched our back row for, 4 or 5 wars.
Yeah.
But I also thought, it also brings up a good point, because like when I cleared out that last Phoenix squad, who would have thought Biston or Red Guard would be a good team?
Yeah, really.
And they were perfect. Red Guard stunned, and then Biston took away turn meter. It was like clockwork taking out those guys. No counter. They didn't counter at all.
Yeah.
It was quite amazing. I was like, I can't believe this is working. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure I used a let me find it. One of the ragtag squads that I've always had set up is Akbar lead, Fulcrum Ahsoka, one of the Hoth brothers, I believe, the taunting one, so Soldier, Farm Boy Luke, and Biston. And yeah, between them, they're usually able to take out a mid-range Phoenix squad also.
Yeah, Farm Boy's fun in a situation like that. Otherwise, he's not very useful. But
yeah, kind of like Royal Guard. If it's not on his basic, but he can stun. Biston throwing up his what's it called? Berserker.
Berserker, yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Whatever it is, yeah.
And then, Akbar's lead with the, tactical genius, and then calling assists whenever you use a move that doesn't attack. So Fulcrum's got one, Soldier's got one, Biston's got one, Akbar has 2, seems to work pretty well.
I'd like to get Hermit Yoda working a little bit to see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about. I just, within the last, few guild events, stopped just immediately spending everything I got on Gear 12 pieces, and thought I need to save for at least one of these, characters, Hoda or Wampa. Man, I can't decide.
You don't have either one?
Neither one. Yoda, I've got some shards towards, but I need a lot still to even unlock. and Wampa I'm almost nowhere. But it seems like Wampa could be more useful as far as attacking, territory war squads, some kind of crazy, the whole. Apparently, he part of the. Um, I can't think now if he's part of the Hat Solo squad. Seems like he's an awesome character, but I'm
I think somebody
worried.
told me they get 40 million. Somebody in one of my guilds with Wampa on their squad
Oh yeah.
for the hat. Yeah, 40
So
million. I mean, that's clear. Is that clearing it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's also like Crew has been talking about him being awesome on a, newly reworked EP Vader type Empire Sith squad for Arena. Although I thought I noticed that he had taken him out. I looked very recently just to see what he was doing. And yeah, he went to what I was talking about earlier with EP, Thrawn, Vader, Nihilus, and General Kenobi. So it's possible that that's better on defense, and that's why he has them in. You throw Wampa in, and then you'll just stomp through whatever's in your way on offense. I don't know. But the only thing that worries me is if I don't do anything with Hermit Yoda, Jedi Luke is going to come around way faster than I'm expecting, and all of a sudden I'm not going to be able to get him because he's going to be needed.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. So the guy got 48 million with the Vader lead, Wampa, CLS, Thrawn, and BB-8. Wow. And Vader got 24, half the damage. He got 24 million damage.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how long that took him. I should ask him.
I think it's got to take a long time. Between 1 and 2 hours at least. I think I've seen people say.
I timed it the other day. Last hat we did, I think we had like 90% of the P3 left, and I did 60 of the 4, and it took 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad.
No. I autoed the whole thing just to see what would happen. So remember, we used to be able to finish we used to have to get people to come in and join our guild to finish hats.
Yeah.
And now it's like people can you can do it by yourself. That's why they needed this new raid. I wonder if it's going to be really difficult.
I would imagine it's going to be extremely difficult.
And that's good. We need something like that to challenge us some more, right? I mean,
yeah. It's like I said, I mean, in almost all ways, I'm very excited about it. It's amazing news, but it just seems like with everything that's going on in this game now and how it's already driven people away from the game because it's just too much to handle, I hope they do something to simplify. I mean, if it comes with a level cap increase, it may truly make it so that the hat is just as soloable as the pit. Both raids are going to be like 5 to 20, 30-minute endeavors entirely,
Yeah, you were cutting out there for a little bit, but I might have had too much going on my side.
No, it's cool. I was just saying I'm hoping that if we get a level cap increase, that it's going to make the other 2 raids much, much more soloable very fast. So we can plan them, get them out of the way, and focus on the new one.
I guess they have to keep them for new people, though, right?
Because yeah, I can't see how they could get rid of them. I mean, they could do something like Galactic War, where once you've done it so many times, it's simmable if the guild decides they want to do that. And just pop raids based on randomness. There's going to be a lot of people who will not want to do that if they were to try to do something like that, because they want to compete and get the top, as much as they can, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess we only have one person here who doesn't have the new guy, right? He doesn't have Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Just let him do it by himself. Of course, the only reason I do the pits just for the credits. So, especially now that you scared me that we're gonna need even more. So,
Well, it's worth thinking about. Did I ask you what's your squad arena currency look like? The store currency. Do you have a store of
uh,
that?
I do. I think I have not a lot though, because I've been buying stuff. The squad is that the gray one?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been buying. I bet the Colonel Stark on there, and I've been buying Acolyte when, and then I was
Uh,
buying. Is that the right one?
that's Guild Store.
That's Guild.
Talking about Squad
The other
Arena. When you go in,
Squad
it's the
Arena.
fourth one over when you're looking at the tabs of all the
Yeah,
stores. The one where
yeah.
there
I can't.
hasn't been
Well,
anything to buy for a long time.
I think I might have been buying credits in there. Is that the one where you can buy credits?
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
either have already been doing that, that's one thing. But then if you hadn't been, I had been basically buying prestige just in case a new capital ship came out. I wouldn't be completely. I bought it like not every single refresh, but whenever I'd think about it, so that I'm up to like 600 at the moment.
Wow.
Some people may already, have those for whatever reason. I don't know. But I had been buying it just randomly enough that I was still kind of accruing more and more of that currency. I just bought a few million packs for 2,000 of those currency because I'm down to
Right.
33,000 now. But if anybody has any kind of store of that Squad Arena store currency, divide it by 2, and that's how many million credits you got sitting there.
Yeah. I think that's why I was buying millions because I was down to 5 at one time.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it's like I just need to refresh a little bit. Plus, I wasn't spending on anything, but
Right.
like the green one, I got like 85, 90,000 of those.
Yeah. I mean, all of the credits, basically, I had been kind of saved until I got to a certain point, 30,000, 40, 50 or something, so that, if they were to happen to drop some kind of useful character that I didn't have into one of those stores, all of a sudden, you can buy them as fast as it refreshes.
And I'll
So,
go back to farming Acolyte here shortly because I've been doing mods for the last 4 days.
yeah.
And so after this next, I guess Cantina is the next guild event, right? Is after the reset tonight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll spend all my cantinas on mods, then some more, and then I'll go back afterwards. Because I like to take 3 to 5 days of just doing mods once a month,
Right.
just because I'm running really short now. There's too many tunes.
Yep. You find you have any luck taking that approach and doing 3 to 5 days at a time?
I do. I just got one. They're not great, but I got plus these two events. I got two of them at 10 speeds.
Yeah.
They came in at 5, and I got them up to 10 quickly, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 others today that were. I got a full potency yellow farming mod, so
Oh,
those
yeah.
don't come around very often. Yeah,
Nice.
there's a speed mod too, so I'll get her. It's up to 30.
So you're
Those are
talking,
always nice.
yeah. Well, wait. You're talking about a potency with speed primary on an arrow?
Yeah,
Potency mod type?
yeah,
Okay.
potency mod. Yeah,
Okay.
on a speed arrow. Yeah,
Ooh, that's nice. There's a
yeah,
few places that's key, like resistance team. You want every one of those people to have one of those.
yeah.
So
Especially Poe and Finn, right?
yeah, definitely the old school Zeta Finn squad.
Yeah. Oh,
And
phase 3's down. Oh, phase 1 just finished.
um, we're into halfway through phase 2.
Because I just finished.
Finished what, the whole thing?
Yeah. Do you want me to stop? Oh,
What
too late. Crap. I had 0.39% left.
quarter after?
I did one speed. I started it right when at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, all good. It's
Wow.
all good.
Yeah. I should have been
Got
paying more attention.
40 people registered.
You can put a note out if you want. Oh, somebody finished before I did. So
Yay!
Yeah. Well, no, I guess not. But maybe it just took a while for it to come over. But
Well,
you can say the raid's done. It's
yeah,
finalizing. Yeah.
it's ridiculous how the refresh works because I'm sitting here hitting the little refresh button. It does not refresh it. It's not showing me that it's done. It's not
Oh,
showing people with solo scores. It seems like I have to go into battle and come back out to see, or if I were to go into battle, it would probably tell me that it's no longer available.
hey, our new guy Banis Duran got 3.2 million. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I'll go back and look at this so Squad Arena. I've got almost 9,000 credits, and I got 460 prestige. I thought that might be enough. I used to buy. That's what I did. What you did. I was buying them all the time because there's nothing else to spend it on.
Right.
Especially after I got Cup.
Once you've got Cup, you're set.
Yeah. Well, I have Eth Koth. I've never got him above 5 stars. I don't. I don't want to spend. I don't think it's worthwhile. Is he good for anything?
No. I believe I haven't really. I mean, I've farmed peripherals, for platooning and this and that, Aurora and uh, but Ethkoth, no, I haven't. Because I mean, I really hoped that you'd see more of those useless characters in platoons, and we could farm them and then fill those platoons. But you don't. You see, the tunes that everybody needs for their squads is what they ask for. So it doesn't even seem worthwhile to farm the total crap tunes for that purpose.
Do you ever go into Galactic War and store and just buy everybody up and then sell it to get shards?
Absolutely, there have been times where I did that for sure.
Yeah, I've done that a lot in the last month, just
Yep.
for something to do.
Yeah, I mean, especially having put the amazing gear into that store. Pretty
definitely,
awesome.
and I got Grievous to 7 stars, so
Nice. I got him unlocked. I cannot commit myself to farming him. I don't know why. I have some sort of block. I mean, almost refuse still to spend fleet currency on anything but Zetas, and that's part of it. I did the things you absolutely had to get out of there ship-wise and whatnot. I don't think I've ever bought a character shards in there.
Wow.
So a couple times here and there I've used shard shop currency to get what I have of Grievous, but it was only enough so far to unlock him, and that's it. Oh well.
I mean, I don't know if he's worthwhile. I mean, really all that worthwhile. So
No, the only reason it's worth having already farmed him is for when they do a droid rework and all of a sudden he's amazing. Otherwise, he's pretty much useless.
I mean, it's not much fun to play with at all. So
nope.
Oh. Let's see. How bad am I in ships now? Up to 42. 17 spots in 2 turns. That's not too bad.
I'm still at 61.
Is your payout at 6 o'clock your time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mine too. Is it? Because I started this when I was on the East Coast. My payout's an hour earlier than everybody's because mine's at 5. Because I actually live in the Central time. I just happened to be in Eastern when I started the game.
Yeah,
so.
That's interesting. I've heard a few people talk about that before. I happen to be visiting the other side of the country, and usually it helps.
It does. Well, sometimes it's tough because if I work late, like there's no way I can even try.
Yeah, well, plus it seems like in my experience, in at least both of my shards, East Coast is by far the heaviest payout full of people.
Yeah, we just got our 5th guy added. He'll be added tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
In our arena, so we'll have 5 at our payout, and there's 3 in the hour before that. So
yikes.
It's just that's not too bad. You have 10 in yours though, right?
That's my fleet arena.
Okay.
But I do now have 6 in squad arena.
And everybody's like, well, do you want to let them in? I'm like, it's easier to let them in and be relaxed at payout
Yeah.
than it is to try and lock somebody out for an hour. You know?
Agreed.
And I just don't want to spend the time doing it. Plus, it's kind of only fair. You know, just because we got in earlier doesn't mean we should have locked into it.
Yeah.
Especially in ships, because even in the top 4, I mean, it's only like 25 each. It only goes down 25 each step. Unlike the arena where it's 50 each step.
Right.
But maybe they'll change that. I'm hoping they do.
It'd be nice, especially if they start to give ships a little love, add some more ships, another capital, add a table. The droid upgrades, if they start to focus on it, maybe they'll reconsider that as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. Like BB-8 and Pose as well. He's already in one of them though, right? He's in Cassian's. He's in Cassian's, right?
Yeah.
Guess he couldn't be in 2. It'd be
Or
weird.
wait a minute. Who is in Cassian's?
Isn't BB-8 in Cassian's?
Oh no. No, I don't think so. It would be him, Jin.
Oh no, it's K2.
Yeah.
I knew there was a droid in one of these, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting topic. What exactly are they going to do with those units? Is it going to be like mods? Is it going to be actual crew members, you know, and use actual tunes or what? I've always wondered what they were going to do with that.
Because BB-8's picture is already in Poe's X-Wing thing. Yeah.
It still could just be an upgrade that you acquire and not necessarily be that it's a crew member. Because otherwise, why wouldn't it just be a crew member, you know?
Right, because it says hardware abilities coming soon, whatever that means.
Right. Coming soon, my ass. Oh, boy.
That means we're going to have more droids?
Quite possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do I got to do about a half hour worth of something to do too. So how about we just come back in about a half hour?
Yeah, that's cool.
So you have a 4 o'clock your time?
Yeah, I'll probably just try to keep it rolling, see if there's anything to talk about or whatnot. But I'm gonna step away as well. So, but yeah, do what you gotta do, man.
Okay. All right, I'll pop back in a little bit.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Sure, man. I need to step away for a moment, so I'm gonna play the Mass Sauvage 3-man Phoenix killing squad, just in the background so that there's something going on, and I'll be right back. Alright, not sure what happened to Mass Sauvage, but I'm back. See if anybody else happens to be around. Got Salakin moving towards a lunch break at work because he's on the other side of the globe. I'll try to get a link to the live stream for him. Alright. Got that done. See, I'm moving towards my payout hour, so I might be able to see who's in here. Calvin St. Clair. Alright. We play around with seeing how this new EP Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, Kenobi squad works against Night Sisters. Generally completely unfamiliar with this squad, so I can't talk and look at this teeny little screen. I have to play on my phone when I'm doing this. I have a hard time talking at the same time. So if Nihilus doesn't die, he's gonna die. Darn it! Got no way to heal Nihilus. If I use EP's heal thing, gone. Well. Can't seem to get an opportunity to fracture anyone. Do it, yeah. Alright, so it's at least doable. And that was with EP's lead Zated. Not that I could say it made a difference. And Vader's unique Zated. That might have made a difference getting the plague off of him. Pardon me while I Set this up. Of the hat free-for-all on Monday at 8 p.m. See here, what else? There is nothing else. Been working on crew. These drop rates are awesome, usually. I like to do them 2 at a time, like a lot of people do. Because it seems like if I wind it up and spin 12 to 20, you get nothing. Alright. Not sure how much more I'm going to have to chat about by myself. Could go into... let's see, I'll go into .gg, where I put together just EP and Vader as a squad under squad templates, just to take a look, see how many we have at reasonable gear levels, how many Zetas. And there's a lot of people that have already Zetaed Vader. Really seems like in probably territory wars and especially definitely territory battles, EP's lead is going to be much better, whether Zetaed or not, in my opinion. So, fortunately for some modes, that makes a lot of Zetas on Vader unnecessary. Who knows, it may come out that there's some build that's actually better under a Zeta lead, but... So anyway, it looks like we have... Most of our guild has both of them, G10, G11, 7 stars. So that bodes well for territory war offense, hopefully. Not sure if there's anything else squad-wise worth mentioning. See how we're doing on our JTRs. Got a few with the Zetas who are rocking and rolling with the Rey Jedi training. It may become an important squad, either for offense or defense, possibly, depending on how things change with Sith and Empire countering CLS, whether it's offensive or defensive. Going to be interesting to find out. Do a little work in Discord for a sec. Alright, put out the call to see if there's anybody else who wants to jump in and chat. For the moment though, maybe I'll make sure there isn't anything else. Let's run through some territory war and see if we can luck into a Phoenix squad. So I've been liking using my troopers, which everybody might not necessarily have, to a level that's actually going to work real well and plow through Galactic War, but I generally don't need to test anything with any of these characters, so I like to use them to plow through, see what kind of squads I can luck into seeing later on. And I pretty much look at the troopers almost like old school Resistance with Zated Finn, where it seems like for super easy squads in Galactic War you can auto basic. Of course we get a Phoenix squad on node 2, not going to be a very good representative. So, as I play through, I try to just use all basics as much as I can, so that if I come across an instance where I want to use a special, something like especially Veers's mass attack to take out a Kanan or a Biggs or somebody that's a pain in the ass and gonna get turn meter, counter attack, or whatever, and I'll just use them. But otherwise, if you auto basic, they tear through them and kind of don't waste kills on, you know, using special moves at the wrong time, gaining turn meter that's unnecessary. It works real well to just keep them beefed up with 100% turn meter. It's partially just the way I've always looked at it, trying to conserve specials and make sure that if I come across a difficult squad, you know, that I'm going to be able to get through it and have them all come out all nice and clean and shiny with all their health and protection and whatnot. Probably ridiculous in the current climate of Galactic War. It's so darn easy that they could probably plow through just about anything that's thrown at them. So as I go through, I'll, you know, if it's see an instance like that, I'll hit that real quick, because he's gonna get the crits, he's gonna get it back. Then I'll go and auto basic. And I mentioned this on a recent live stream, that some people could very well have missed when autoing was first added, the whole auto basic thing, which if you don't have it turned on, the only place to access it is when you're actually in a battle. And if you go into the settings in battle, go into auto battle, look at this little menu, some people might have it set to all abilities, and that's basically going to make it so that your auto button is just sitting there, and all it's going to do is auto. With, you know, specials, basics, it's just going to run it the way that it would, you know, if you were to hit full auto. So you could also have that set to only do basics every time you hit that one button, but if you have it on select option, it might seem like a pain if you didn't have this set up and you were used to, in instances where you do want to full auto, all you had to do was hit the button once. Now you'd have to hit it twice in the same position, but then every single instance, without having to go into the settings and blah 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 blah, you could have basic at your fingertips if you need it, or something like this, something like Newt Akalambi, which is very important actually if you're trying to do that whole Newt Akalambi thing, and you're taking in way underpowered versions against something that's, you know, more powerful than you really should be able to fight, and it's going to take too long to chip away at them. You can hit auto basic, because that Newt Akalambi team, all you ever do is hit basic moves anyway, so you use auto basic, that's going to run through it and do it as fast as it could possibly be done. So here's what I was talking about: get rid of Biggs and make sure he's not going to mess anything up, and then auto basic. What I'm really hoping for now when I play my Galactic Wars, it's like I get so excited if I get like any kind of synergy squad comes up, especially in the second half where they're going to be more reasonably geared and starred and leveled, just so that we have somewhere to test. Ridiculous that there's nowhere to test anymore other than in your actual arena, which kind of stinks. auto basic. So the best is Phoenix, because it is to find a Phoenix squad that you can test against in your Galactic War, because there's so many. Everybody has figured out that Phoenix is good to put somewhere on defense and territory wars, so any instance you can find to actually test unconventional squads full of weak tunes definitely can help. So I'm running through this really just hoping to win the mini daily lottery of some kind of usable squad to test against in Galactic War. Can't imagine I'll actually find anything, but still nothing. People who just hit level 85 don't have synergy squads, apparently, is what this is showing. I screwed that up. Troopers are tough, though. They'll come back. Nothing. Mall squad is not going to see that in territory war. So, take care of the pain in the ass. Bloop. So you can kind of look at how much turn meter the whole squad has and decide whether it's better to get a kill or just get somebody closer to a kill. So in this instance, with everybody having turn meter, them having none, it's almost better to just work on tunes that have the most left until you see them start to gain turn meter. And I'll do basics just because, knowing my luck, I'd throw that AoE out there and he wouldn't get any crits, and then it would be on cooldown. No luck. Last chance will be some kind of awesome Phoenix squad that someone has set for node 12. Doubt it, but we'll find out. Here we go, last chance. Darn it! Boba lead with a Gear 12 Luminara. What are you doing? You have a Gear 12 tune, and this is your team. Oh well. Might as well just finish it off. And being the last team, usually still being nothing, but that's where I have all of the special moves on off cooldown and can just hit full auto and let them slice through in all their glory. Oh well, worth a try. But anybody watching, it's well worth paying attention in your Galactic War for any squads you come up against. Use to do some valuable testing that there's nowhere else in the game for us to do at this point. So, I know I've heard talk about them possibly adding a sandbox mode. I think it was even Warrior who mentioned, oh, it might be something that they could possibly do, because he's talked to developers and whatnot, so it would be nice. What's going on in Squad Arena? Ready to battle. Oral is another one that I don't have to worry about attacking, so maybe I'll try that real quick. He is 10. Oh. Could be his payout coming up. Hate to end up screwing him over for no reason. He's not in our chat. Well, I guess I could just test against a Jedi Training Ray squad just to show how horrible it would be on defense, probably. Do a 2 times full auto. Let's just see what happens. So I do like Vader using his culling blade, at least on defense, and if it works and you see it on offense, there's multiple debuffs, at least 2 or 3 on whatever enemy he's throwing it at. He gives... Oh, don't even tell me what happened. Oh. He gives all Sith and Empire turn meter based on however many debuffs he hits. So, I mean, I guess it's just him removing those debuffs under a Palpatine lead, so... Not doing terrible so far. Really wish they would have done something with shock a little more. Everybody's mentioned how they hoped that Vader's or Palpatine's rework would include some sort of undispellable new type of shock, which would be amazing. This is probably the end with Illuminated Destiny. Well, that's a help. Being able to take out Jedi Training Ray. AI actually using Nihilus for like the best possible use. Not quite enough with those 3 stupid droids left, of course. The end. Oh well. Well, anyway, that's what it looks like when a dumb AI is controlling a Jedi Training Ray squad against the supposed new quintessential Palpatine-led team, although I don't have the Zeta on his unique. Sure, that could make at least some amount of difference. Looks like Darth Molly will be around in a few minutes after he's done sorting his dinner. I'll try to hang on and see if I can find some stuff to do for a couple minutes. How about we play around with... I think I've already spent my 600, so it's pretty much a waste to go and do any more, but since I've got the energy not refilling at the moment, let's spin some Carbontes. 0. 0. A 0. 1, yay! 0. 0. 0. They really don't want you to have Carbontes. 2, hey, that's nice. Give me one more. Yay! Nice. Oh boy. Well, I had held off actually playing through the rest of these Palpatine mythic events. trying to use it to test anything I could just because it's difficult opponents. And this was the last thing I tried, just to see if some mix of troopers along with the two new Sith bad boys could make a difference. And obviously this mode completely depends on the start you get. Let's see what kind of start I get. Take it off 2 times. You can get absolutely crushed and somebody's dead before you get to go, like that. So I guess I'm trying to understand. I watched this, started a match in 1 time speed to try to get an idea. They all start with 100% turn meter. They all go. I'm guessing there's something with Rolo's move that she uses immediately that gives everybody 100% turn meter again. So they effectively get 2 full turns before you ever get to go. So didn't really get to showcase Dark being there and actually getting to at least use his buff move. Try to... I wonder if I could get rid of... no, it's gonna be just Veers and Death Trooper, so... do it to Chewie. And... we'll just get rid of him. Who could we use? Probably Leia. I want to get an ability block on her. And... heck, just because I don't know what I'm doing. Deathmark to get rid of Biggs real quick. See if we can get a double tap on Wedge. Blap blap. Got Leia. So the general consensus is probably that this event isn't actually terribly difficult. You just have to find a squad and or a set of RNG where you actually make it past the beginning. 2 full rounds of rebels throwing whatever they got at you. What else did I think I had Vader lead with TIE Fighter pilot. Say I had Shore on there, but it didn't seem terribly necessary. Man, let's maybe try Tarkin. Let's see if we can use all characters that aren't extremely difficult to get. About Royal Guard. We'll see what kind of RNG we get through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 turns. Not great. We got no debuffs out there. We're doing piddly damage. Feel like I want to try to boost Tarkin's potency with basics for at least a little bit, but I guess the debuffs getting out there would probably be better. CLS should be stunnable when he has call to action. Let's see. Yay! Can actually apply ability block. Of course not. Let's stop Chewie from taunting. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Alright, so that build, not the greatest. Who else is there? Try throwing Magma Trooper in there. See if he can survive the counterattacks by tossing out an AoE and getting 1 set of turn meter removal. Ugh, jeez. Well, he won't survive this, but... Ew! Oh, wow. I guess I've gotta heal EP. TIE Fighter had to make the ultimate sacrifice. See if we can get an ability block. There we go. Try to stun, what the heck? Nope. Alright. Well, I don't see Vader surviving the rest of this, so... Not sure what else there really is going to be that will make much of a difference. Try throwing Stormtrooper in there instead of Jerry. Ugh. Seems to generally come down to Vader and EP doing almost all the work. I mean, if you have the tunes like Shore Trooper and Death Trooper, obviously they're going to make it just much, much easier. Ability block Leia, nope. Lots of debuffs though, so TIE Fighter Pilot is able to do a lot of damage. And an ability block Biggs as detrimental if it gets turn meter. Alright, so this did have a Zader lead, but otherwise was pretty much ridiculously difficult to get characters. I hoped it would come down to Vader versus Luke, but figured I'd just finish that up. I did a bunch of testing. Didn't really find out a whole lot. Nothing great as far as mods. But I love getting Gear 12 pieces for free. Go ahead and... what the heck? I'll maybe throw that squad in. See if I'm able to auto it. Oh, what am I doing? This isn't against Rebels. Still went pretty good though. Nothing amazing as far as mods. And what the heck is this? Let's see. Go through Phoenix. Ooh, not a single shock. Take care of EP with... I thought that would take care of EP. And get rid of Taunt. And with a basic. Chopper for the win. Alright, so that's out of the way. Speed. Ooh. Necessarily interested in a tenacity set mod, but if that were to proc to like 20, I'd use it. Tenacity style. Most recently, I've gotten into the opposite of farming stuff Going straight to 12 in one shot, it's less painful watching each time. The speed does not proc, so I prefer to just spin all at once. Yeah! That's not too bad. 16. I suppose it's worth possibly breaking a set. Well, that makes me happy. Win, and just in case, 12 minutes to finalization in it. Some people seem to be doing something that either takes a long time or they set their phone aside and then they're happy when let them know that it's about to finalize. So new requests. It's after 4, so no holds barred. Try this oddball CLS team with the EP, Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, Kenobi, and what the heck, I'm gonna auto. Just out of curiosity. Been alright so far. Of course, when you get down to CLS by himself, that's when he's most powerful, so we'll see what happens towards the end of the battle. Yeah, I'll take that. Being able to auto with another team is very, very nice. I'll be sad to see my Night Sisters go if they have to here. But see what the meta report inside my arena shard looks like.
King Fat.
Hey, hey.
I'm back.
What's up, man?
Not much. I got moved my guys up in arena, so I'm good an hour ahead of time. So
Nice.
I'm just trying to get my ships back up, down to 27.
There you go. I've been sitting here for the last however long it's been, trying to entertain the masses by fumbling around inside my own game.
Gotta give them something to watch, man.
Yeah. So I played through Galactic War hoping to run into a Phoenix squad. It would have been perfect, and I could have done some testing, and of course, I didn't luck out. I did get a Phoenix squad on, like, Node 2. It was like
that's
G7.
That's useless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what I have. I can't show anything, though, but... who am I... it's a hodgepodge crap team. First Order, Qui-Gon, Leia, and Rey. Nah. I'll save it. I had to get something to eat, man. My hands are starting to shake.
Yikes, that's no good.
No. I think it's just new medicines they have me on for my migraines.
Ugh.
Yeah. I have to call him and get something different. Didn't know I had migraines. Thought it was sinus headaches.
Oh, how long has that been going on?
About 7 years.
No!
Yeah.
Yikes!
Every doctor I thought thought I had sinus problems, and I went and saw a guy about 2.5 weeks ago, and he's like, I'm 90% sure you have migraines. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. So he gave me these new drugs, and they kind of started to go away. So I think he's right.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't want the side effects of it. My hands are going to be shaky, but
Yeah.
it could just because I was hungry too, but I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to Star Wars. No more personal issues on live streaming.
Yeah. I'm trying to type into Discord for Ironman. It looks like he wants. Oh, wait, he's in.
I'm in.
Hey, Ironman. What's up,
Yeah.
man?
Nice to talk to you.
Absolutely. We've never gotten to talk before, have we?
No, first time.
Awesome. How are things in your neck of the woods?
It's pretty nice.
Yeah?
My wife's just gone to work. She works night.
Yeah.
And then my kids are sleeping. So
There you
we're
go.
just chilling at home.
Nice.
Yeah. How's it you?
Pretty good my way.
Going with you guys.
Good. Lots going on in the lots going on
Yeah.
in the Galaxy of Heroes universe, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Yeah, really.
It's pretty nice.
So what do you think about
Did any of you guys?
Go ahead.
Alright, it was just if any of you guys had you tried Zetaing Palpatine?
I did Zeta his leadership. Possibly ill-advisedly. And I just actually ran I think I've run maybe 2 since we've been live streaming, like squad arena battles, pretty much against CLS team. I think I ran one against the Jedi Training Raid team, and just it did not go well. And then one against a CLS team that I was able to auto and beat them. So I can't say though if his lead is, the Zeta on his lead is really making that much of a difference.
Yeah,
Well-
I say that I made both Zetas on Palp.
Oh, okay.
Run the team with Fawn and Vader and General Kenobi and Nihilus.
Right.
And it worked pretty well. Actually, mostly against Commander Luke Skywalker teams.
Right.
Those teams, they are pretty easy now.
Yeah.
Rey is still a bit of a fight, and so is the Night Sisters. But,
Yeah. Well, have you actually found any success against Rey?
Actually, sometimes I think the Night Sisters have some issues sometimes, but sometimes it works with the Night Sisters. Sometimes it works with the new team here with Pulp Lead. But it's all random. If you're lucky, get some crits in, get enough debuffs on the enemy, then
Right.
Then you get a lot of turn meter.
Right.
If you get a lot of debuffs in on the enemy, you get a lot of turns, and then you start getting into a nice roll, and then you can win. But if they resist too many, then you lose. Then you're just done for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think the most important thing, because it doesn't seem like they're going to be like an arena team that you're going to leave in on defense and really hold well and that kind of stuff. It's kind of obvious what works best for territory battles, but what are your thoughts on territory wars? Like having this particular squad that you talked about, and that's actually what I have set up right now just for the moment, just to test and play around that same squad with EP, Vader, Thrawn, Kenobi, and Nihilus. But like for territory wars, that would definitely break up a few teams that I would normally set for defense. So I wonder what the bare minimum would be under an EP lead, even if it had EP and Vader, to be able to actually take out a CLS squad, so that we could continue to set up a similar defense, but have those on hand to take out CLS squads.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I think perhaps if we tried with Palp lead and then back up from Vader, and then just maybe get some tanks tanks you don't need on other teams
Mm-hmm.
to make it possible to get enough crits in and or enough debuffs in or debuffs on the enemy, and then make Palp's his health down on the enemy kind of
Right.
kick in.
Right.
Give it some time to know. He just needs some time to they hurt every turn, and if you can get some shock on the enemy as well, they just start really losing a lot of health and going down.
Right.
And personally, I only for my Maul team, I only use Vader. Pulp I use on another team anyway, so I just need another Sith to put in instead of Vader
So you have
on my team.
a Zated Maul and you put that on defense in Territory Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but together with Dooku and who normally have 2 sec. I can't remember. In his team. Um,
Finding that I have nowhere. What am I not thinking of? I have nowhere to go into my squad management. My squad arena is on like the big reset. I mean, I guess I need to spend the 50 to continue to fight, so I might as well do. It's ridiculous that there's no way to get into your squad management without having a battle available to go into that doesn't require either light side or dark side. You know?
Yeah, you can just take light side or dark side battles and go in and just instead of simming them, then you can just go into the battle
Yeah,
and
but
see.
even
But
that,
of course, you still need a little energy, Yeah.
that's the thing. Right now I have 5 Cantina energy and 4 regular energies. There is literally nowhere I can go in to see my squad management.
Have you Galactic War?
Nope, my Galactic War, I've got no reset, and I've got all 12 nodes done. I just did them on the live stream, so... Oh boy.
Whose fault is that?
It's entirely my fault. I'll just do the refresh.
How dare you blame
Oh,
me?
don't spend 50 credits for that.
Oh, no, I had to. I mean, I still
Oh.
need... I'm only in 10th place. I'm gonna need to do a couple more battles in Arena.
Oh, I gotcha.
I did a
Plus,
few...
it's good for the guild.
Yeah, I did a few extra to show something on the live stream, and I had already done a few to do my dailies and whatnot, so... Not a big deal. But anyway, I was just going to go into mine to look for Territory War offense. I had 2 squads, and I think I was telling Mutai about this earlier, but this is going to be different for everyone. Ironman, like you said, you have a Zal squad, so that's going to be the best use for that, obviously. But I ended up... I've always had for Territory War offense an EP Sith team and a Vader Empire team. And it's not like either of them have all of the hottest, most difficult to get tunes or anything. The Palpatine was with Sid, Maul, Dooku, and Savage. No Zetas going on. Well, I do actually have a Zeta on Sidious. Not that I think it makes much of a difference, but I don't have a Zated Maul. I don't have a Zated Savage. So, and then an Vader team, which I do have Krennic, but the rest are Tarkin, Stormtrooper, and TIE Fighter pilot, and I was able to use each of those squads to take out a Kenobi Barris squad in the last Territory War.
Yeah.
So just having the bonuses against Jedi even, and having it generally being a couple Jedi that are on the GK Barris squads, I don't know if that made all the difference, that all of a sudden those 2 squads could each take out one of those. I was amazed when it actually worked, really. So there's that possible use also.
I used Palp. I've used a couple of times with just some tanks, and then I could take down some pretty high-end Phoenix teams. Because you just need his health down to his crackling down. Just make it work. Just
Right.
give it some time, and he'll just die over time. You know,
Right.
so you just need someone to protect him until it kicks in. But I don't know exactly what team I want to use next time. I think Vader will be good together with the Empire now, with the Emperor Palpatine now.
Yeah, obviously. Looks like we got a few more in the voice chat too. Molly, what's up?
Hey, dude.
How do, sir?
Not bad. I'm glad I caught it at this point because Sith Marauder, that's who you want in your new Sith team. Have you seen him throw his lightsaber? Have you seen that?
I've just seen the initial beta subject to change footage, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. He can throw. Oh, like, the only thing they didn't do was it should go past them and then hit them again on the way back. But
Yeah.
I'll settle for what it does for now.
Nice.
It's immediately become my favorite animation in the game.
It's badass looking, that is for sure.
Plus, he pretty much looks like my character from. I played the Old Republic MMO for about 3 weeks, and he looks pretty much how I looked in that as well.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
I like him a lot.
Well, we're assuming we know it's going to be a marquee event, and then it's going to be. Do you think that there's any chance he's going to be an oddball, goes somewhere to farm immediately, or do you think he's going to be a paywall?
I would think straight away it's the 1200 crystal packs, but he does it like a generic character. They don't. Well, they do actually. I mean, Executioner was the same, wasn't he? A one-off character who got those packs. Yeah, I'd say he'll be the same. He'll go straight to that, and he'll probably be very important. I think this raid is going to get announced very soon, or released very soon, because generally when we get told about a marquee event, like if we get told on a Wednesday, we get it that Friday. Like it's often in the game the next day, you know?
Yeah.
Now they're giving us 10 days notice for it, and the game changes are out in California at the minute, I think, or they're flying out this week.
Yeah.
That's definitely for the raid. So it sounds like it's done and ready to go, you know?
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out, pay to play, and he is crucial to the team that's going to let you do best in like phase 2 or something.
Probably. What do you think? What's your guys' opinion that just jumped in more recently? Like, you think it's going to be a same as all the other raids, 4 phases, use, raid tickets, to schedule as you see fit kind of thing? Or do you think they'll try to do something at all different with this? Make it 3 phases, make it a rigid schedule of their choosing, anything like that?
One thing I did think was, would they do it for a full 150,000 raid tickets to launch? And that way it gives a distinct advantage to guilds that have 50 members getting 600 tickets a day.
That's horrible to think about, but I guess a possibility.
That's one that occurred to me, because it'll be like the AAT. They're going to want to make it. I also definitely think we're getting 6 or 7 mods with the raid. They've been appearing on the preview characters for the past 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And even though they keep saying they have no intention of bringing those out, like, I know a few of us have used the beta builds when Territory Wars there was an open test. You can't just create things in it. You have to get them from somewhere.
Right.
Like, you had unlimited crystals. You could buy what you wanted, but you couldn't just create something from nowhere.
Right.
And I'd say they have some method in their test builds of getting those mods, and that's how they're doing it. That's my thinking. So we're getting 6 and 7 mods back.
Oh boy.
I really livened up the chat, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Jeez.
Optimistic.
Well, I mean, we already had the looming shadow of a level cap increase and what that's going to do to the in-game economy. And then if you throw that on top too, how much is it going to cost to upgrade a 7 mod?
$1 million, easy. What does it cost now? 400,000?
Something like that, yeah.
Probably about 800 for a 6.1.2 for a, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are a cheerful bunch.
Hey, Drum Cub, what's up? We're like,
That was wild to jump in and hear all the just depressing rumors.
You have a violin you could play?
Going back to what you just said about will it be 4 phases, they've announced pretty much 3. We know it's going to be Zion, Neelis, and Treya. And I think that'll be phases 1 to 3, and then Revan will be waiting for us in phase 4, and that he's the reward character. So
that's excuse me.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think back to my Old Republic, but they're the 3 who took over his empire, aren't they? They were like his successors, so it would make sense that you go through the 3 of them, and then you get Revan at the end.
that would be pretty awesome. I mean, if they did 4 phases, they could either do meaningless sides, you know, a bunch of marauders or whatever for phase 1, and then each of those bosses for the next 3. They could do each of those bosses for the first 3, and then all 3 together for the 4th.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Treya
Would they
is
do?
so cool.
Would they do like? Wasn't HK Revan's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't they do like if you actually fought Revan, there'd have to be like a buffed out HK with him.
Yeah, you could have a few of them. I mean, he made a few assassin droids, I think. So you could have like you've got with Grievous in phase 1, where you've got Grievous and he's got a couple of droids with him, something like that with Revan.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd take some more droids.
Yeah, our droids are lacking. We need more droids.
That's for sure. But I would have really hoped that they would do bounty hunters before doing anything with droids. Be awesome to get a droid rework, but man, we really need it for bounty hunters, like ASAP.
There's only one good one, isn't there? I mean, realistically, Boba's the only out-and-out good bounty hunter.
Yeah, I feel that Zam Wessel is like the next best and pretty awesome for what she can bring to the table. I mean, it seems to me like she brings a mini Zeta Fin resistance type of thing to the table, you know?
Doesn't she need bounty hunters, though, to do that?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, her on the squad really makes, like, the rest of my crap survive when I use them. Just because she's giving everyone turn meter, she's getting her own extra turn meter every time she shoots a thermal detonator, you know? And I've also found her other special, what is it, exposes the target. So
yeah,
she's been like key number 2 to my success in like dark side territory battles with them, and I've been trying to use them as a Phoenix squad killer for territory wars. So
like if they did a bounty hunter rework, you'd imagine they could play with the detonators a bit, have a whole new kind of mechanic that could, like the way that you had exposes all the time, but all they were like an extreme damage over time. But when resistance came along, explosives became something completely different.
yeah,
They could do something like that with thermal detonators for bounty hunters.
absolutely. Well, I also never really looked at, I just ended up modding up Greedo a little bit to where he's like G9 now at least, and gonna be on my squad, basically. And, hadn't really looked into exactly, or just kind of forgot how Boba Fett's the part of his lead that's the health gain that they have for the total potency. And man, that takes a Greedo who, not that I really went all in trying to get him health on his mods necessarily, but having all, you know, 5-dot good mods as far as adding potency and, you know, whatever else, still is at like 12,000 health. D9 7-star, 12,000 health. But yeah, if you really, seems to me like the biggest thing for bounty hunters beyond, at least while trying to work on the ones we already have that are garbage and not knowing if they're gonna, you know, turn into total garbage because new bounty hunters come out, the the best thing to do is work on modding for them, I think. You know what I mean? Just don't waste the gear resources necessarily, but just try to max out their potency, all of their potencies if possible, so that they all have twice as much health. Basically, with what I have on mine, anywhere between 50 and 60, maybe one of them has like 70%, they're all getting well over double their health, just from all of their potency, you know? So
Good to know.
yeah, that's one thing to consider, is just you can farm mods and they don't necessarily have to stay on those characters, or just look through your mods, rearrange mods, and just try to beef them that way so that you don't make mistakes as far as who you've wasted gear on and whatnot, definitely.
I just got my raid rewards, and for the first time ever, I am delighted I got the Mark 7 security scan.
Is it the first time you've ever gotten them, or the first time you're delighted?
First time I'm happy to get them. I get them all the time, but at one point I had 11 crafted, and now I don't have enough to bring Stark up to gear 10.
It's
So that's
crazy.
Wait, is that the refrigerator?
4
I call it a
refrigerators?
boombox, but yes, refrigerator would also work.
Oh yeah, I have like 1,500 of those things. I'll give you as many as you want.
I did have some, and then I did Night Sisters. They took about 7, and then I did
Yikes.
Troopers, and they took 8 so far, and I need a couple more. Stormtrooper takes like 3, and Stark needs a couple. So just it kind of came out of nowhere. I suddenly needed them, but
Oh, that's good to know. I need to go all in on Night Sisters then.
Yeah, really.
Right now. Yeah, first.
Well, hey, while we've got this many guys on all at once, you guys want to talk a little bit more about territory wars? And was it even you, Molly, that had brought up the possibility of moving First Order, and what kind of things we could think about as far as that goes? Me and Mutai talked about it a little bit a while back. And I don't think I had mentioned, but what about the possibility of even splitting First Order? Taking filling half of 2B with our best First Order, and filling the rest of it with nasties. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. And then
What a reference.
Seriously. And then taking the rest of the First Order, where they would do better, being, less fleshed out, all the way at the back when the enemy doesn't have much left, and put them in 4B at the back. Because we basically talked about it. I like your thinking as far as the enemy seems to be able to cut through our First Order no problem. And putting the nasties there is the best thing we probably have as far as putting something difficult that close to the front, and kind of going with the whole, less and less difficult squads as you go back. But because the nasties are random, it definitely gives the enemy more options all at once that territory opens. So maybe it's not that much of a trade-off if First Order is just easy enough that everybody can figure something out, to work on them, I guess. What do you guys think?
I think front loading.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think front loading is certainly, after watching the last thing of how the last 5 minutes unfolded, I think front loading as much as we can is probably the best way to go. Just because theoretically, if they're going to break through all the territories, they're going to do it whether the hard ones are at the front or the back. So if they did happen to dump more defense, I think front loading is the way to go. So, and if that means pushing some of the nasties forward, I think that would work out a little bit better.
Agreed. Plus, I mean, they're gonna take more of their roster away instead of sitting at the back, never being reached, for the most part.
That's the thing that kills me is when, that one there was so tight, and some of our best defensive squads were never even seen. They never even got to the territory in front of them.
Right.
And while they were clearing up our First Order and our Qui-Gon Jinns and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
they never even saw our droids.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Hey, I've got a Grievous in there. I'm kidding you.
Oh wow.
I leave out 80. I leave out 88. I use him on offense sometimes.
Yeah.
So I put in Grievous instead.
Well, what do you guys think? Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, Bill, but you mentioned that you took out a team with blue clones.
What?
You were talking about like it was like at the end where pretty much everybody was depleted, and I think it was you that said like you finished off a team with blue clones.
What are blue clones?
I want to I just meant like blue gear. Like half of my clones aren't even G7. They have no protection.
I was like, I know Fives has blue on his armor. Which other ones have blue?
I think that I'm having trouble even remembering it at this point. I think it was just there was something that had 2 tunes left, and it was possibly something that was a bit of a pain in the ass, depending on what you brought in. And I was amazed that the little bit of synergy they have that it actually worked. But
because I read that, I thought you took out like one of those nasty teams with blue clones. I'm like, man,
no.
Either you're an RNG god, or you just really know how to use those characters better than I do.
No, I don't know clones at all. I think it was just cleanup somewhere. Yeah. But it got me a win in a territory war where at first I thought I'm only gonna get 2, maybe 3 wins in this territory war because man. I screwed up in their 1A trying to take out a CLS squad, and it wasn't even like an all G12 like really good one. I was like, I'm gonna hold back a little bit and see if I can luck into my resistance actually making it through the beginning barrage of a CLS squad with Raid Han and whatnot. And it was crazy because it was the exact opposite of how it normally goes with them for me. In this type of situation where it's like you got 1 chance in a territory war, normally, right from the beginning, I'm like, it's not going well. Oh no, I'm wasted them. And then the tide turns and they get rolling and it works out. Where this time it started amazingly. I couldn't believe it. Like I think Raid Han stunned like a resistance pilot or something, and it just so I had my Poe and I got rolling, it was looking good, and then it just went quickly downhill. Something happened and I pretty much wasted that squad. So
well, yeah, somebody, I don't know if it was you, but somebody said like try and use the Zeta Fins to take out like the CLS, and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. And like the only ones that were left were pretty nasty, and I was like, well, I'll go for it, and I got totally wiped.
Huh, it definitely wasn't me. I would have never recommended. I put to use Zeta Fins. I put it into the command for their Kenobi Zaris thing, and it might have been that there were also a few CLSs in there, and you saw it when there wasn't much left in there or something.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think there were only like 2 CLS squads or something left, and I went in and I just got totally hosed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, I just wasted my best attacking team.
Yeah, well, I've been wondering a little bit about this also. It seems like, for the most part, when we see a CLS, like this last one, we saw a CLS wall, and it was like Raid Han was on every squad. And then we see a GK Zaris wall, and it seemed like Raid Han was on almost every squad. So I wonder if there's anything to taking the number of Raid Hans you have and making sure that half of the people that put CLS in have Raid Han on that squad, and half of the people that put GK Zaris in have him on that squad. Because if they defend once, he is a total pain in the ass every single time they go back to try to fight again,
Mm-hmm.
And it also reduces the chances of being able to use resistance.
Agree. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, he does tend to hit Poe, doesn't he, when he goes first?
Yeah.
Against resistance.
Right.
And
just, it depends on what everybody keeps and has for their resistance squad. I mean, if you have R2, you're golden against anyone. It doesn't matter who, almost. Raid Han could do the right thing at the very beginning and screw you up, but as soon as you take R2 away, and then if you have a Rey squad and you run BB-8 there and R2 there, And having neither of them definitely makes your resistance squad, like, everything has to go exactly right or it's not gonna work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys, anybody that hasn't already talked with us about this today, think about what EP and Vader are gonna do to the way you set up either territory war defense, or is it just gonna be a nice tool on offense and that's it?
Well, I've fought against. There are 3 or 4 people in my top like 30 that have gone all in, and they're kind of tricky. I think early on, I think as people don't really know how to play them, I think they may be useful on defense. But yeah, I would say probably more of an offensive tool for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Anyone have an opinion about what the consequences could be if you run into somebody setting up a wall of EP Vader squads? You think it'll make it more difficult? I mean, I haven't even thought about what you'd bring if you don't have CLSs and you don't have, like, GK Zeruses. Probably not going to have Jedi Ray teams. What do you use against what now seems up there among the top meta squads, you know?
Oh, a Rex.
Rex, yeah. I would say
Yeah.
Rex as well.
Yeah. What about people that
Again,
don't
they're-
have Rex, like me?
You don't have Rex?
I mean, I
Yeah, Rex.
do. I have him 7-starred and he's maybe gear 8 or something, but I mean, at some point I just got this mental block against clones. Just refuse to ever do anything with him. He's a tough gear, at least for me, where he is. It's like I'd have to make a decision to really go all in, you know.
You don't have Rex?
I don't have him usable. I own him, but I don't really
You know,
use him.
Ewok would be very disappointed because he's a ship captain.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I said, I have him G7 and 7 stars.
I mean, I fully consider bringing him to Gear 12 the other day, even though I've not used him since Gear 12 came out, purely because I was thinking at some point he's going to be back in the meta, so I should have him ready.
Mine's Gear 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's Gear 12 as well.
Yeah, me too.
He's so good. He's so good.
He's so good.
Awesome work,
I use
guys.
Yeah, I use them against Jedi Raid all the time.
I
Yeah.
did the exact opposite to you, but instead of getting a mental block against clones, I think 4 separate times they've been right. They're my next team. They're my next team. Here's TimeKiller. He'd be upset by that, but I've never gone back and finished my clones.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing. Just chilling on a Sunday.
Nice.
Mad that there's nothing going on that I can hear and talk about the game as opposed to playing.
Seriously.
Daddy doesn't have Rex.
You make it sound far
What's
worse
up?
than it is.
It isn't that bad.
I'm guessing TimeKiller didn't actually hear you because you were breaking up a little bit. They're making fun of me because I don't have a usable Rex.
Oh, he's like third rate anyway. I was actually surprised Sarge is a killer.
Well, I'm sure everyone else is amazed to hear you say that because
You don't like Rex.
Amazed. You don't have Rex?
You have to
Alright.
change your name to Bubba. I don't have Rex. Daddy.
All right, I'll start to work on Rex. Jeez, I mentioned it to somebody in my arena chat too, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? What?" He still literally has used Rex on his squad through the last 4 months solid. He's been on his squad. He's lagged behind and is using like a Kenobi Barris, type of thing or whatever with Rex on the team. Yeah, he's pretty much been amazing throughout. So.
He's been amazing since Erodium packs were a thing.
He's been amazing since things that are not now things were things.
Yes, that's true. He was the original Erodium, wasn't he? The original. You get this guy, you dominate arena character.
Probably, yeah.
Then there was Sunfac, who I don't have.
Now, see, for whatever reason, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. When Sunfac went free to play, he like disappeared out of the meta. That was like, it was horrible timing because I got super excited and Kate got super excited and we farmed the crap out of him and then boom, he was gone.
You know what I did when you were doing Sunfac? I farmed Rex because you need Rex. You should have Rex, bro. I can't believe, I have to go check your page on GOA. See how bad your Rex is.
You're making fun of my Rex.
Little T-Rex. Oh, page does not exist. Don't you dare. Oh, okay, back. Just for 1 second there, I was thinking.
Well, I gotta say, TimeKiller is the reason I have my clones done, because he got me started on them a long time ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Made a big difference in the
Definitely
pit back
useful.
in the
That's how I killed my CLS team. I actually used my my tank team, and I took out a CLS team. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was like, what the hell? There's nothing left. I was like, I just picked the lowest CLS team, and I was like, all right, fine, I'm throwing my clones at them.
Dude, that's awesome.
So clones can take out a CLS team. The only thing I did learn is don't use Sarge's area of effect attack.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
AoE versus CLS.
I can get where their turn meter. Nope, they all killed me.
Yep. Uh-oh. Well, hey, TimeKiller, what we were just talking about, what's your opinion about our First Order territory wars and the possibility of either swapping them entirely with like the nasties from 4B, or the possibility of cutting them in half, putting the best First Order in 2B and filling the rest with nasties, and then maybe moving the lower end of First Order back to 4B?
I think we should kind of like pick out the nasties and place them in certain areas. Like I like that Ironman's, the Night Sisters are in with the Phoenix. Maybe put like the Murder Bears with Phoenix. Maybe move 1 or 2 nasties forward.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of when we have like the entire First Order wall, it gives them limited, like the Zal, then we at First Order gives them limited people to use against.
Right.
It kind of narrows down their options for attack.
I agree.
Because the nasty for way too many times, but as soon as we move them, that's going to be the time we need them in that spot.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like a definite to have it set up exactly how we have it. At least that one is almost an assured defense against them finishing that back territory and getting that bigger, completion bonus. Because no one by the time they get back there, especially if they went the upper route, is going to have enough to finish them. And the only way they'd probably have enough having gone the lower route is if they didn't even try against CLS. You know what I mean? If they did...
Yes.
So,
and I don't think Phoenix is nothing more than it's a cheap way to fill an area. I mean, we've never had a problem with a Phoenixville when we attacked it, and I've never seen our Phoenixville really survive.
No.
It's just kind of like a cheap way to burn up somebody else's squads.
Yeah.
Which is good, right?
No, yeah, it's just a resource drainer. They perform beyond their, power level and whatnot.
Right. But I think we need a nasty or two in with them just to, because like I said, this one was close, right, Boba? I mean, your guys held.
Yeah, it was real close. I agree for sure. It does seem like not talking about that instance specifically, going, putting some in 3B, but it seems to me like other than that, say 2B, any of those squads that seem like godly at the back could very well just get wiped out in one, because somebody still has a awesome trooper team. Somebody still has some awesome, the perfect counter to whatever it is we put there, It seems like the closer to the front those awesome, crazy out there different squads are, the closer they are to the front, the more likely they're going to still have something that could just take them out and take away their godlike status, you know. But I don't know. When I talk about nasties, I was almost more picturing, at least for the swap into 2B, is more the ones people put in that aren't those crazy squads, you know, some stuff that have like wigs on them and a couple Empire type things that were going on back there. And maybe try to use the real crazy ones like the Ewoks and the Night Sisters a little more strategically. You know, a couple in Phoenix, maybe leave a couple in 4B, possibly even move a couple into 4C in case someone were to just go nothing but south route, you know.
Yeah, that's my only fear is if they go total south on us. Because I was even thinking that. I looked at it, you know, should we go the south route next time we get stuck with that wall of CLS? Because you know that's going to, the CLS, you know, GK team is going to be almost the standard northern route, right? That's what, but we can beat it. We know we can beat it. That's the other point of it.
Right. And it should get nothing but easier with the new viability of, you know, Palpatine and Vader, of course. We're gonna have to keep.
I got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I got crushed.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, I personally think that you have to have a pretty specific makeup to be able to actually take on a CLS squad. Maybe more viability to do a fair amount of damage and plan on having to attack it twice, but it seems to me like you need to have the couple things that people are doing in the arena right now to actually be able to take a CLS squad with somewhat certainty, you know. So I don't know, I've mentioned a couple times that I basically used the two of them as leads on two different teams in the last territory war to take out two Kenobi Xeris squads. So there's that to consider as well, that it seems like there's new viability that makes them even more of a possibility against Kenobi Xeris as well.
Hey, can I use my fledgling CLS against a Kenobi Barris?
I would imagine. I mean, it might come down to the squad you actually use around him, but CLS is just an absolute beast with his set of moves. And the way he can get health and protection back, it's ridiculous. And especially against a Xeris squad, I mean, they're not hitting crazy hard or anything. You know, Nihilus is basically most of their firepower. And he can't do it until he's cooled it down, you know?
Right. Yeah, because I'm growing him ever since I got him. I feel bad. I feel like I'm trying to farm last month's tunes.
Yeah, it's hard not to
play up with.
Yeah. It basically takes money to not be in that situation.
Right.
So I was gonna ask you guys. I've noticed in my arena shard, there's a trend of Asajj leads, like Asajj Night Sister teams. There's like 4 of them in top 10.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen a lot of that?
Yeah, it's the Team Instinct Night Sister team, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I've seen both of the Team Instinct guys in my arena. Mainly leave them on defense more than anything, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
so they're not climbing with those.
I can't say for sure. It doesn't seem like it. The one guy kind of plays like an off hours and is never around for payout, so I never really get to see him moving. The other guy, since Jedi Training Ray, has been using that, like, while, hour before and then up to his payout, he's definitely using Ray still. So, but I've seen him leave an Asajj-led Night Sister team in on defense, definitely.
Because it's not an overly expensive team. Because I mean, like, my GK is already maxed. You don't have to farm the zombie, and you basically just have to get Asajj and Daka and a couple Zetas, and you're good to go.
Is that all? A couple of Zeta? Yeah, it is. It's a nasty team. Although I do find it much easier to beat than there's one guy with the very, very good Talzin lead, and there's one guy with that Asajj lead, and I find the Asajj one much easier.
Yeah, it's just different mechanics, obviously.
Yeah.
That make the two teams run. Right now I'm running. I realized I've got 7 minutes left to my payout, and I'm not in position. And there's a brand new interloper, somebody not in the chat that we don't recognize at all, running.
Oh, we had that just now.
He's running the Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, Kenobi. I had that in for my last 2 battles anyway, so I'm doing a mirror match right now. Hoping that I can...
Yeah, that's the team that's here. This guy, he's usually in the 40s by now. He pays out before me, and he ran that. He's at 11 still. That's interesting. He's held really well. Because I've got 2 Zetas. I was going to go for Palpatine and Vader, but the teams I've seen seem to either Probe Droid or Wampa, and I wasn't really sure what I could do there. But this team looks good.
Well, I tried autoing and failed miserably with a mirror match with my tunes all G12 and this guy's half of his tunes being G11.
You've got 7 minutes to pay out and you went with an auto?
Yeah, what the heck. I just wanted to try. I'll solo it or manual it now though.
I will try that team against Night Sisters right now. I'm going to Zeta Palpatine right now.
I mainly went with auto because I have no experience playing this team against this team. I'm not positive.
Do you need to do Nihilus's Zeta unique for that team to work?
Maybe so.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Because
for a lot of your debuffs.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done that Zeta yet, and if I do that team, that was the one Zeta that I was wondering about. Is that worth it to fuel that team and make it easier to destroy another team? Just that health down.
Yeah, it's held down and it's an unresistible debuff on their turn, isn't it? Like it's it's his turn, isn't it? It's his turn.
I think it's their turn.
Let's do crap. No, at the start of each of his turn, he inflicts damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy.
Okay.
At the start of each enemy turn, he inflicts health down on them. Yeah, it's a very good unique. Which part of that is the Zeta? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you just have it at level 7, he only inflicts debuffs on his turn. But if you have it on the Zeta, he does it at the start of all of their turns as well. Definitely worth looking at. Do I give him a Zeta then? I've held off on that one since he came out, and I just haven't done it.
Yeah, I've never done that one either.
Well, we know what Ewok would say. I have to say, I've been trying to get both Palp and Vader up to gear 12 in the last week, and their last gear tier to get to 12 is tough.
Yeah. I did Palp yesterday, just got there, and I'm going to have Vader now in the next 20 minutes or so. But yeah, it's been a real pain. Tough one.
Yeah, all those droid collars and those biotech implants. Ugh.
What are the bio? Oh yeah, those things.
The yellow balls.
I took up Vader a long time ago. I'm all for ships. And
I had Vader pretty much ready.
Yeah, but Palp is still lacking. It takes forever.
Yeah.
Got multiple keyboards clickety clacking.
Mine is very loud.
All right,
Did
I
you-
just applied first data to CLS.
You put it on, it binds all things?
Yeah, I just put it on there.
Nice.
Nice. He's like all the way. I kind of feel bad that like he's growing in power. I look at the way my characters line up and I'm like, really? He's that powerful this quickly?
Yep. He's a beast, that's for sure.
He's my top guy, and I could put another Zeta on him right now. Yeah, I haven't given him all of them yet, and he's my top character.
I only got one Zeta on him. He's 5th down, and like all my other guys have got their gear 12 maxed already.
What gear is your CLS?
I just now crowned 11.
Oh, nice.
But looking at it, I should be at the 12 pretty quickly. I'm pretty close on most of his items.
I mean, just to say how good he is, I've got him with 2 Zetas, and he's my top power character at gear 12 with no extra pieces. But I've got Talzin with 2 Zetas, gear 12, and she's got the 3 pieces after gear 12, and she's still second to him.
Yikes.
He's just crazy. Then Jedi Rey is third, and she has only 1 Zeta, so I don't know.
Yeah, mine's looking like Talzin, Vader, Luke. But I've only got 1 Zeta on Luke, so Talzin and Vader both have 2.
You think I can leave him with just the 1 Zeta and just finish gearing him and move on?
I
kind of Zeta my raid hand.
I would Zeta raid Han before doing another one on Luke personally. I think that his lead is not really necessary. It seemed to be geared towards like Rex leads back when he first came out. It's all based on the enemy resisting your detrimental effects, you know? It just doesn't seem that necessary. The other one is nice. I'm not even thinking what it actually... Oh, critical avoidance and is the other unique.
What about mods?
Did you say mods?
Yeah, what mods should I be running with them? I gotta start farming those again.
Well, I mean, I've always personally gone with crit damage and crit chance. At some point, I broke the crit chance set to put more speed on him,
Crit
but
damage, crit chance, and as much speed as I can.
yeah.
How unique.
See, I did 4
The
speeds
standard.
and potency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just trying to get him faster. He's
Yeah.
250 for me. Yeah.
Nice. Mine's at a moderate 243.
Moderate.
But
Mine is probably much slower than yours, so. Oh, 241.
not too bad.
Too bad. My Tron is my baby.
He's got all your speed.
Yeah,
Not
I
all
gotta
of it,
start
but
writing mods.
290
I've been-
right now.
Pretty charged.
290. Wow.
Farmed mods in like a month and a half.
You say you hadn't farmed mods in a month and a
I
half?
get caught up in collection.
Yeah, hard not to. So what does anybody that... Go ahead.
The Kalo and Matt, man, those have been farming those real quick.
Yeah. I've been working on those myself, and yeah, the drop rates are pretty unbelievable.
Is that for Kylo?
Yeah, and the ship too, yeah.
Finished them both, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Incredible.
Indeed.
Yan seems really impressed with the ship as well.
Yeah.
Me too. I did 140k damage the other day with 1 hit.
I was having some great fun the other day, right after Vader's rework. I used him in Galactic War under a Nihilus lead. So his health steal under Nihilus, and then Palpatine's new ability to health steal up. and I was hitting culling blades for healing 120,000 health for Vader. It was I was trying around to see how much health I can heal for in one attack, and the biggest I got was 124,000 on one culling blade, and that was like a galactic war battle. There was no chance to build up attacks or anything, you know, build up dots. I mean.
Hey, so what about this Bandis guy we brought in? So we haven't been able to make contact with him. He kind of dropped some odd combinations of teams this territory war. But I think the last time he did the territory battle, he scored massively. So he's definitely participating. I just hate when people can't follow simple things like banners.
It's possible he's not seeing them. If he, I don't know how Android works, but if he's on an iPhone and his account is marked as an under 16s, he won't be able to see any of the in-game chat, which includes banners and territory wars instructions. He wouldn't be able to see anything typed up by any officers in game.
Wait a second. He's chatted, right?
I don't think so, has he?
I've never seen anything come out of him.
It's possible he's a kid.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was leaning towards just the kid point of it, but I mean, I guess we'll try it again. But if we keep seeing the like, especially in the CLS round, we gotta have that 100%.
In that one particular, you don't even need to see the orders. Just look at the fact that the 23 other teams are identical and just kind of figure out.
Right, exactly. If you can't figure that one out, then you got some problems.
That's every time as well. It's the same thing every time.
Yeah, I mistook him for Ash Williams, that new guy Ash Williams. He's been very active and chatty too.
Where did he come from? I was away for 2 days on Wednesday. When I came back, this guy Ash Williams was talking, and I was like, "Who the hell is this person?"
I think it's a random.
He was an in-game
he's
join.
random. Yeah.
Oh. I thought he might be. Remember, wasn't someone talking about a friend joining at one point? I thought maybe it was them.
Yeah.
Work colleague or something.
Yeah, Ironman was talking about that.
I thought maybe that was who that was.
No, we kind of lucked out that he was somebody who was chatty and got right in Discord and active and interested for sure. Everybody going through after reset, looking at their stuff. Anybody that's from anywhere near me, at least.
My reset was 4 hours ago, so I'm pretty over that.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm working on my ship climb.
I'm trying to decide where my Zetas are going. Kylo Ren is very tempting. I don't have the original Kylo Zeta either.
Oh no?
No, I never did. I never liked it, even though it was vastly overpowered for so long. Just never really appealed to me. I'm trying to
That's
bring
what
my
I don't.
Stark to Gear 11.
Characters.
People are being stingy with those with the boom boxes that everyone supposedly has millions of.
Not everybody, I'm with you.
I need 2. You can only request 2, and I was like, this will be filled in seconds. And I was like, nope.
Is it in there now?
Yeah, I requested it there.
Where
it's
is
okay.
It? Oh, okay, I got it.
Wait.
There's one at least. What did you start to say, TK?
No, it's like some of the way they rank characters. It's like, how can these guys be so powerful? Like Jedi training Rey, it still matters. It still picks me off. She's like, okay, not even a Jedi yet.
Yeah, and she
Is Luke a Jedi yet? The Luke we have, he's not.
No.
He hasn't.
No.
I'm trying to think where he's from in the story. He hasn't met Yoda yet or anything, has he?
I mean, it's the same outfit as when he's on Dagobah, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on where they brought him from.
They make him look more buff than the real Luke Skywalker was, it seems to me.
Yeah, he's a scrawny git.
That's Hollywood for you.
Yep.
I will say though, after watching episode 8, I completely changed my mind. After 7, I was like, they better not give us old man Luke, and now I really want old man Luke.
Yeah.
If we get him next, I genuinely won't be disappointed, even though it means another year to wait for Return of the Jedi Luke, which is the guy I want. That's who I'm waiting for. But
yeah.
One-handed Luke.
One-handed.
Oh, he'll be next, yeah.
He should be, because after her.
I just wanted.
Yeah. So Return of the Jedi Luke should be next, because we got Hermit Yoda, right?
I think he'll definitely be needed for Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jawa Luke, Return of the Jedi Luke. We'll definitely need Hermit Yoda at 7-star. That's the only reason I'm delaying my Wampa to finish off Hermit Yoda.
Yeah, I haven't really started very much on either, and I keep thinking I need to make sure it's Yoda that I do first.
Wampa looks like so much fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I just need the gear.
That's, I mean,
the gear is too tempting.
Yeah, up until the last few territory events, that's what I've been doing, spending absolutely every scrap of it on Gear 12 gear, yeah. Are you getting...
I do the opposite. I rarely buy gear.
Yeah.
And as a result, I've got, I'm 60-something of 100 for Yoda, and then I'm halfway to unlocking Wampa now as well.
Whoa, nice.
I've always been all in on characters in pretty much every aspect of the game. It's all about having them all.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, did you guys say there was going to be a new pit raid? Is that coming out? Was that legit?
Oh yeah, new raid. Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, Sith Raid. They've told us who the enemies are, at least. The Sith Triumvirate.
Oh, so cool.
Including Nihilus. And then what, Sion and Traya?
Here, yeah, I'll link it to you, DK, because the artwork is so cool.
I've put it up a couple times on the live stream when we start talking about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
when
pretty.
Does it come out?
The raid we don't know. We don't know yet for sure, but everybody's imagining soon, probably beginning of March, possibly, or maybe even the end of February here.
Yeah. The game changers are all being flown out. I think it's next week.
Yeah, I thought they were saying that trip was at the end of the month, basically.
I should ask. Crazy Excuses is a game changer, isn't she?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's in my fleet arena. She joined the chat last week.
Oh, nice.
She decided to take ship seriously, apparently.
And then Cub could always ask Mobile Gamer, who he now knows personally and hangs out at his house.
Who knows Mobile Gamer personally?
Drum Cub.
What?
Yeah.
They had coffee.
He walked past them at their favorite coffee shop while they were both sitting there playing the game, he and Kate, and he just kind of looked over their shoulders and was like, "Oh, you guys are playing the game," or something. And Kate turned around and was like, "It's you!" And blah, blah, blah.
He is so odd, but he's very entertaining in his videos.
Yeah, I really like his personality. He seems real relaxed and real down to earth and laid back and thoughtful.
Him and Arnold go really well together. They're two weird guys, but it really works.
Yeah, I definitely really like their videos. But anyway, at this point, Drum Cub has, they made plans immediately after meeting him to meet, the next day or whenever to sit around and drink coffee and do their dailies playing Star Wars and stuff together. To the point where he believed he went over and they hung out with him for the Super Bowl at his house. And part of it may also be that he, has been steadily upgrading his entire setup, and when they release those videos about how they record YouTube videos and whatnot. And Drum Cub has a degree in sound engineering, so he went over, told him he'd be able to really help him get his, sound setup going. Which he did. So now they're great friends.
Where are they? Where's he based, Mobile Gamer? I don't know where he even is.
They're in California.
Oh. He's not flying very far then.
No. Not Mobile Gamer at least, but probably all the rest of them.
So what do you think our outlook is for this territory battle? What did we get last time?
38. I would say we'll probably do pretty good, considering that everybody's got 2 characters that are much more viable all of a sudden. I'm assuming everybody knows that we're now going to get 2 shards per completion of special missions where you get Rolo and Probe Droid shards.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was part of all these releases of updates and whatnot, is that apparently they recognize that it's ridiculous that originally, especially the way they initially were going to do light side territory battles when that was all there was, and it was going to be like 3 days. And they said, oh, we'll make them 6 days, until you get used to it and whatnot. So initially, it was going to be every 3 days, or take place over 3 days, so who knows how many per month we were intended to initially get, where now it's been pared down to, once or twice a month if we're lucky?
Because even, when they went with 6 days, they even then made the gap bigger between them. There used to be like a 4-day gap, wasn't it? It was like every 10 days you had a full cycle.
Yeah, the gap is... Well, it's bigger now because they put territory wars in there, but they do have these weird 2 or 3 day stretches between the end of a last territory war and the next territory battle, usually over a weekend, where we're all going, why is there nothing going on?
Yeah, actually, speaking of, there's events right now, isn't there? Oh, thanks, guys. Now I can finish my Stark. Yay. Oh, where did I put Stark? Boom. Gear 10 Stormtrooper. I have almost Zeded Stormtrooper 5 times this week. I keep forgetting he has one. I never have Zedas saved, so I never have like a red one that I can accidentally hit.
Yeah.
And then every time I open up Stormtrooper, I see a red one, and it's like, oh, Omega. I go to do it, and then it's not an Omega, and it's a terrible Zeta. I just kind of go, okay.
Oh, okay, so when you initially said you've almost Zeta him 6 times, you're saying accidentally.
Oh, completely.
Because at first I thought you were like trying to make up your mind or something.
Oh no, my mind is made up. It would be probably one of, if I had unlimited Zetas now, it would be one of the 5 last ones that I did. I was up there with Luminara and Chewbacca. Yes, Luminara has a Zeta.
I've heard tale, but I've never even looked into what it is.
I fought one in Arena.
Oh yeah.
When Fulcrum first came out, one of our whales went all in on Fulcrum, and then he couldn't find a team to make her work.
Yeah.
And he decided if he went with a Luminara lead, it spreads buffs around like crazy. So yeah, he went with that.
Nice.
It seemed like an awful waste just to make Fulcrum work.
Yeah.
I actually made a terrible mistake in our last Territory Wars. On offense, I decided to try and split into 2 definitive resistance teams,
Uh-huh.
and the end result was both of them got completely destroyed.
You had both
Because
for offense, you're saying?
Yeah, I had Finn, Trooper, Poe, Pilot, and I think Rose, and then I had Ray, BB-8, Holdo, and I think a couple of randoms in. Now that team did okay because Ray and BB-8 alone are pretty good,
Right.
and Holdo was surprisingly tanky because mine is like she's gear 8, like no Omegas, no Zetas, and she surprisingly does okay. I think she's gonna be good. I think she's good. But it was such a waste. I think my Ray ended up I killed 2 characters in the CLS team, I think, and in a Kenobi Barris team, and my Finn team just got completely wiped. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'd done it properly, I could have guaranteed take out 1 team, you know?
Right. Well, I don't know if you heard me describing my horrible failure with resistance as well in this last. Thankfully, I used Jedi Training Ray on a 4-man oddball squad to take on, like, whatever I think I can take on as we make our way through, and it usually ends up being Phoenix squads. But I think with her and original Ray, old Ben, who's only like G9, and Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, I'm usually able to take something out. And it's pretty much because of Ray, the 2 Rays.
Old Ben is underrated as well. He is, ever since his rework, he kind of slipped under the radar, but he is very good.
Well, I didn't really pay attention. Is the rework just the Zetas, or is there more to it?
There were some minor changes. His basic becoming unresistible, I think, was one. But his I think his ability block. That was always his taunt. Yeah, pretty much a Zeta. That's a Zeta, is it? Where the taunt comes back. Is that a Zeta ability?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's a good one.
Well, yeah. If you got the Zetas, then you'd probably be putting the gear as well. But I haven't done either.
Yeah, you should work on that, man.
Yeah, put it on top of the pile.
I went through a phase of saving characters I liked. I kind of got bored of always doing the ones that everyone was doing, so I'm going to pick a couple of my favorite characters and just give them Zetas.
Yeah.
Because it was how I did my first 2. I did Maul and Savage before it was cool, I guess, and it worked really well in Arena because a week later it became the team to have. But I did Old Ben and Han Solo then, and that worked very, very well.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good. Old Ben is... I still use him. I'm actually running a very outdated team in Arena. I'm doing... I still use Kenobi Barris, Old Ben, Talzin, and a random 5th, like Thrawn usually. Sometimes Luke, sometimes Red Han.
Nice.
I have no need to change, ever.
That does good against Jedi Training Ray stuff, I assume, then?
Crushes it, yeah.
Nice.
Walk through that team. Basically, you get Plague on BB-8, and he makes sure he spreads it to everyone because he takes so many turns.
Yeah.
It becomes their biggest weakness, really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I use my normal Talzin Abomination, one version of it against them with ease, but
yeah,
I definitely keep having to switch it up.
I have to switch. If I go up against the Talzin Lead Night Sisters, I have to use either my troopers or a kind of a CLS attacking team with Baze and Sharut, but
yeah,
everything else I can beat with my team, which is cool.
Nice.
So it's actually really kind of caused me to stop because I don't need to do anything now in Arena. I've been using the same team since Talzin released.
Yeah, me too, for the most part.
Have not had the need to change. It's made me lazy.
Yeah, me too. I put Zetas on, Daka and Asajj on their uniques and whatnot, so that salted it away. As long as I can ride them, I might as well.
Yeah. You're heavily committed there.
Yes, sir. Well, it's even later. I wasn't thinking what time it actually was when Arena Pass came around. And I'm probably going to need to get running myself.
Okay, dude. Good luck.
Congrats. Thank you guys for jumping in. We had a ton of people today. Pretty awesome.
It was fun. We should do it more often.
Absolutely. And if I jump out of the voice chat, doesn't mean you guys have to jump out of the voice chat. I'll stop the live stream just so it doesn't stream for the next several hours while I'm away.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, awesome to chat as always, gents.
Good luck, man. Enjoy.
Thank you kindly.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Have a good one, Mutai.
You too. Bye.
Molly, take it easy, guys. And I'll see you all in the galaxy of heroes.